Good time. Going live. You're live. It says I'm live. I don't know if we actually are. Welcome to the new podcast setup. There is another human being here. Can you?
That's me.
That's
How
Adam.
you doing, everyone?
Adam's my good buddy. I don't know how to describe what you are because I don't want to underplay pro skateboarder or formerly pro skateboarder.
Yeah, I don't ride anymore after I broke my tailbone.
Oh, that was fun.
Split my nutsack open.
Yeah, Adam tried he sliding down some
I did.
handrail. Well,
Yeah.
It was a park rail. I don't want to overstate it, but yeah. So Adam's a good friend of mine. We've known each other for a little bit, and we're gonna wing it. We really are. So you're watching this new podcast show. You're listening to it, and the goal ultimately. I always tell you guys this is the best advice I can give you starting a business. Just do it. Just go. Right. So we built this thing. Adam designed. Technically, I picked the colors, and then Adam built these panels behind us. And then I chose the table and set stuff up. And Adam's kind of like a carpenter, I guess. So here's the ultimate plan, right? Here's what I was thinking, right? I was talking to Adam about this, and I was like, you should come onto the show. I talk too much as it is. I'll probably still end up talking way too much. But the general idea is every day when I read all of this news, and there is a hidden producer you can't see who is scared, doesn't want to be on camera. There's a ton of stories that we look at that I'm just like, it's cool, but like I don't really see how that fits, what I do, and I don't know too much about it. So for instance, right, let me actually pull up one of these stories. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna switch to the display view. So this is the view you normally guys you see me as. Here's a story from Live Science: ghost population of humans discovered in ancient Africa. It's talking about like DNA. There's a ton of stuff that I don't talk about, like sometimes I'll talk about like weird UFOs or something, and I'm just like maybe I should just stream with my buddy and just kind of talk about stuff that we don't normally talk about.
What is a ghost population?
I don't know. So this is the first time researchers have done an in-depth analysis of ancient DNA from Western Africa. So we'll read this, right? I'll explain to everybody what the general idea for what the show is. What you're seeing right now, you're used to. This is kind of how like my regular YouTube stuff works. And there are some stories I just never actually get to because they just don't really, they're not super important. They might be interesting or whatever. So what we're going to do is going forward, the show is going to be a mix of like general interest stuff. We'll probably talk about new movies. We'll probably talk about, we'll go see the new Wonder Woman or we'll go see Black Widow or something. And then we'll be like, yeah, we saw it. We're going to talk about Magic the Gathering sometimes, I guess, because for some reason I have a lightning bolt in front of me. Don't ask me why. And we'll read through stories. So within this podcast, you will get like the traditional article read commentary between, me and Adam. And that's it. And then, over here, I can look over and the comments are in a really, really awkward position for me. It's really difficult to I'm like straining to read this. I should figure that out. I'm going to figure out how to better position the comments. I could probably put them over on my display. I have this little display in front of me. And
I think I need to display too.
Yeah, because otherwise,
yeah.
Well, we actually have that one. We can bring that over and get you a display.
That's true.
So yeah, I don't know, Adam. Do you want to talk about yourself for a second? Just because nobody,
Yeah, I guess my name's Adam Krigler. I was a model for a long time and quit that, and then I was a pro skater for a while, and I quit that, and now I'm here.
Should I tell them how to find that video of you?
Which one?
It was Chanel, right?
The skating video?
Yeah.
Oh, the Chanel video.
Don't turn off the live stream. But there's a video of Adam
like. No, don't even go there. That's
no. You don't want to tell them like.
I mean, no.
It's legit. It's legit.
It was like the biggest job I ever did, I guess, and they did hire me as a skater instead of a model, which is silly because they totally hired me as a model.
But it was a cool shot. It was a cool shot. So basically,
it was cool. They flew me to South Africa, and
he's in like a full motorcycle blackout, like going 60 miles an hour down a mountain, and then he like power slides through water. It was cool.
Well, it wasn't all one shot.
No, I know. It's movie magic. But you still did
really
bomb
cool,
the
though.
hill at like 60 miles an hour. The helicopter's chasing you.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
So Adam, you've got camera experience. You've done, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, so I don't know how many of you actually care about things like Magic the Gathering or whatever, but that's actually how I met Adam. We played Magic periodically. He's a gamer. So whatever. I don't know. We're going to do a podcast and just talk about random stuff, I guess. You can hang out if you want.
Yeah, we should talk about games too.
Definitely. What we're going to plan on doing for the most part is having like a series of stories, hopefully like 6 or 7, because we're going to go for 2 hours. We went early. We went early today. Okay, I just did error. What is this? I don't know. What is it? It's yelling at me. YouTube's yelling at me. I don't know. Whatever. We started early today just because I don't know, just because. I got to be honest. First stream, really have no plan. I just figured, let's just, So how was your day, Adam?
It was good. I'm recovering from a little Corona light.
The coronavirus.
Yeah.
You did not have the coronavirus.
I don't think so, but
should we read the first?
Feeling better.
Should we just jump right? Read this first
it.
story.
Let's
Okay,
go for it.
We're gonna go for it. Check it out. So, this is cool. Actually, no, it's not cool. But I mean, Well, no, it's kind of cool. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a dick or anything. Deserted Wuhan. U.S. tourist films eerie empty streets in Chinese coronavirus epicenter after city's 11 million residents are put on lockdown to stop spread of bug. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not gonna read just yet. They're totally lying.
Why are you walking around in that place anyway? Why are you even there?
The one tourist who's like filming the nothing.
Yeah, what?
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of cool, right?
I guess.
No, but they're totally lying. Watch. Check
Why
this
wouldn't
out.
they be under quarantine also?
So right now it says, Daily Mail says, coronavirus has killed 81 and infected 2,800 globally since it started spreading from the city. There's conflicting reports now as to whether or not it started with the animals or it started, or no one knows where it started. There's a study that came out, literally just did this on my Timcast news channel, where they said, based on the symptoms people had and the amount of time they were sick, this is not from the animals. Like, these people were sick before. Here's my favorite part. The conspiracy. There's a bio lab in Wuhan. It was officially built, I think, like opened in 2017. And there was a concern at the time, and this was reported in like science magazines, that there was a potential breach. Like there would be a breach. The international community was concerned China wouldn't be able to handle a level 4 facility. There would be a breach. And now this is the big conspiracy theory. There's two big conspiracy theories. I love the conspiracy theories. Okay.
Yeah.
The first is that it was just a breach. It's not really a conspiracy theory, I guess.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know. What would you, it's not a conspiracy. Like, if a bug escaped, I guess the conspiracy would be that they're lying to us about it.
Maybe.
But there is a conspiracy because apparently Hong Kong has issued like a state of emergency or something.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I don't have it pulled up. I should pull this stuff up. But there's like 5 confirmed cases now.
In Hong Kong.
Yeah, again, fact check me, guys, because I don't have it pulled up. But the conspiracy theory was that China deliberately released it for plausible deniability, to be like, oh no, we're all sick, but then try and concentrate that in Hong Kong to upset the protests that have been going on for a long time.
In Hong Kong, yeah.
Don't like, you know what, man? I'm not saying believe this stuff. I'm saying this is what people are. I can already see the headlines. Tim Pool spreads conspiracy theories about it. I'm like, no. This is what the speculation is. There's no evidence for any of this stuff. But I love, people love this. I think that's the problem with conspiracies. They're fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let me show you guys the footage. Check that out. Just the city's 11 million people.
Wow.
What is that? Is that like, is the urban center 11 million? Let's just do this. Let's assume that it's not the urban center. Let's say the suburban areas as well make it 11 million. That's bigger than Chicago. Could you imagine like walking around Chicago and there's literally nothing there?
No.
Everyone's gone.
No, I couldn't.
Yeah. I think this story is interesting, like writing about the empty city. But for the most part, we kind of know all this stuff. But I do want to give you some details, right? One of the things I think is really important is that they are doing a rapid response to build 4 new hospitals dedicated specifically to the coronavirus. Each holds 1,000 people. Why?
That's obviously to counteract something that's happening.
They're lying.
Well, what are they lying about, though?
So they're claiming there's only 2,800 people who are sick. Why would they build 4 hospitals to bed 4,000 people?
Well, I was reading about this earlier. It's the fact that they can't find who is sick before they actually get sick. That's the problem.
So they're expecting it to break 4,000.
Yeah, they're now coming up with ways like thermal readers to read your body temperature, and if it's like you're above a normal temperature, you're sick, or you're going to this area to get checked to see if you're sick.
This sounds like V for Vendetta. You've seen that movie, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
So one of the big things was that they had a fake virus to allow them to become like authoritarian, to like give the government power.
Right.
What if you get a cold? They're gonna be like, you got a fever, into the camp. You know what I mean?
I mean, isn't China already kind of?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying it. Like they've got like 1 million Muslims locked up, and they're like harvesting organs.
Shit.
You can't. Yeah. So let's do this. You're not allowed to swear on YouTube. You guys know this.
That's my bad.
You're not allowed to swear. You can't.
That caught me off guard, I guess.
Yeah. So look, I got to be honest, right? This is our first stream. We don't know what we're doing. You know, Adam's got to figure out. YouTube's
I'm new at this.
YouTube's gonna whack him in the head. But here's my favorite part. I'm gonna use our 2 freebies right now.
Oh yeah?
I'm gonna use them right now, guys. You can only say hell and damn 1 time.
Well, you just cut me off.
Yep. No, you can't say it anymore. Now you gotta say heck and darn.
Darn.
I'm not kidding though. So when you make a YouTube video, I may be exaggerating a little bit, okay? But when you do a YouTube video, they have this program called self-certification. Mm-hmm. We'll jump to the next YouTube story, I guess. You know, even though we're kind of speeding through things, we shouldn't. But anyway, when you upload a YouTube video, and they have a new program called self-certification where you can tell YouTube if you break the rules.
Okay.
I think it's silly because, you know, most people are going to be like, I don't break the rules. And then, you know, a day later, YouTube's like, you did. But here's the way the program works. Whenever you upload a video, it asks you if you've done certain things. Do you swear? And when they ask you about swearing, they say, no swearing. Light swearing, like saying the H word and the D word 1 time. Heck and darn. And then it says consistent hard swearing like you just did. And I think actually you might be able to, you might get away with like 1 hard swear too. It's weird. I don't know exactly what works.
I did say it under my breath. Does that count?
Well, all that matters is whether or not YouTube, their stupid, you know, robot listens to you and then transcribes your voice.
Oh, okay.
So there's actually circumstances where you might not even swear. You might say something like, you know, South Park, for instance, city walk, right? Mm-hmm. If you pronounce it like he did, it's going to assume it was a swear even though you weren't. Yeah. So heaven forbid you're not a native English speaker. You're going to get demonetized like crazy. But yeah, so when you upload, the way it's supposed to work is you put up a video, it asks you, did you do these things? And you can be honest and say, I totally did. For me, it usually comes up when there's a story about war. It says, are you talking about war, tragedy, terror, etc.? Yes, I am. And they say, congratulations, you get no advertisements. The problem with that is they also will be like, we're also going to make sure nobody sees this video. They straight shadow ban the video because they're like, it's not family friendly. We shouldn't promote this.
I see, yeah.
So if you lie, then what happens is they do review the video a day later. Mm-hmm. It's basically a preemptive thing. Like, so the way it works right now is your video gets demonetized and you can request a review. This is inverted. Your video is monetized and they will review it and determine if you told the truth. And if they come back and find out you lied, then your trust goes down to the point where you can no longer self-cert for the most part. Like, you'll always be able to. Yeah. The general idea is if you're honest, then you're more likely to be monetized. Okay. So only my main channel is in this, but yes, so we learned that you actually can't say the H and the D word. Okay. I used my freebies. So I don't know if that's legitimately how it works, like one, but it's like it's like persistent use of, or like it says something like casually mentioned 1 time or something. Yeah. But yeah, you know what's crazy? 70% revenue drop if you, I think it's 70% if you swear. Wow. Yeah, this was before demonetizations though, so I don't know if it's, you know, currently. Okay. Yeah. So
should I call YouTube in the morning?
Good luck. Are you kidding? Let's do this. Let's talk about how the internet is broken and Facebook and YouTube. There's like no way to contact them.
I guess, sure.
All right, let's do this. So I'll tell you guys what we've been. What is it? What are we going on? Like 14 minutes? And I forgot to press the record button anyway, so I don't even care. Whatever. We'll get the recording later. You know, typically our goal is to try and give each subject a long, like, run through. Yeah. But I think we're kind of just like, we have no idea what we're doing with this. So check this one out. Here's a story that I ended up not using, but I think it's still interesting. It's a good launching off point for how broken the internet is. YouTube content moderators are being made to sign waivers that acknowledge the job can give them PTSD and threaten with termination if they don't sign. YouTube moderators, so they repeat it, but a report finds employees who refuse to sign were threatened with termination. YouTube contractor Accenture said the form is meant to disclose risks. Experts say firing employees for mental illness is a breach of federal law. Wow. Mental illness. Let's just read. I'll just read it and we'll move on. So basically, the general idea is, as most of you are aware, Facebook and YouTube are hotbed. Well, Twitter too. Like, people post insane, crazy things all the time. Yes, you've got far right, far left, whatever. Typically, the far right get banned, like, no question, no, like, just boom right away. And the far left, for some reason, on Reddit, just like kind of go nuts and post like I'm not going to name the subreddit because I know they'll come after me and start smearing, just be relentless. But there's certain far left subreddits where they're just basically explaining how to break the law, and Reddit does literally nothing. Yeah. So let's read. They say, moderators tasked with ridding YouTube of harmful content are being made to sign waivers that acknowledge the job may give them post-traumatic stress disorder. I got to be honest, man. I've seen some stuff. I understand what they're trying to say. If you get PTSD from watching even the worst YouTube videos, man, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be mean about it. They say, a report from The Verge reveals YouTube contractor Accenture, which operates an office in Austin, Texas, made employees sign a waiver shortly after a prior investigation from the outlet on the effects of content moderation on contractors for Google. As noted by The Verge, the waiver is seemingly the most overt acknowledgement that moderation jobs, which involve watching content on, violence, etc., can often lead to PTSD. They say it is possible that reviewing such content may impact my mental health, and it could even lead to post-traumatic stress disorder. Yikes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You're off the mic.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you lean forward. It says, I will take full advantage of the We Care program and seek additional mental health services if needed. I will tell my supervisor or my HR people advisor if I believe that the work is negatively affecting my mental health. While Accenture said signing the document was voluntary, according to The Verge, employees who currently work for the contractor say they were threatened with being fired. Yeah, you told us that already. They're basically just just writing what The Verge already wrote. I love how journalism works, and here I am commenting on it for you guys.
Yeah.
They say, I'm acknowledging that if I disclose my mental health to you, you may be able to fire me. That isn't allowed. Alreen Hagquist, an employee rights attorney based in California, told the outlet. Accenture claims the document is meant as a general disclosure to employees and says it doesn't require any employee to disclose a medical condition to the company. News of Accenture's company-wide waiver follows several other similar reports of work-related PTSD and abusive conditions relating to contractors who moderate content for Twitter, Facebook, and Google. It's unclear whether Accenture moderators who contract for Twitter or Facebook are being required to sign the same waiver as those who do work for YouTube. In December, The Verge reported that Accenture hired dozens of low-paid immigrants from countries in the Middle East to rid platforms like YouTube, which is owned by Google, of... You see how I have this blurred right here? Yeah. That word is terrorist. Can't say that. Yeah.
Or can you say it once?
No, this one is different from a swear. This is a flag.
Oh.
So this word, for those that are curious about YouTube, means the AI is going to see that and they're immediately going to panic and be like, what are they talking about? And because there's a specific provision in the self-cert about you can't talk about this kind of stuff,
okay,
you just get, boom, straight to the bottom. It's just like you may as well not make the video if you say those words. And it's funny is I see a lot of people who have no problem swearing. Mm-hmm. I'm like, man, you lose, like, you demonetized your video just by saying that one word.
So we're hitting all the marks, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, we're live, whatever. I got no problem just saying it, so whatever.
What I think is interesting about this article is, don't you think that them forcing people that you're going to be fired unless you sign this because you're going to get PTSD, and I don't want you to blame us. Don't you think that's going to cause some trauma also? Like, you're going to get canned if you don't sign this. It's like, well, if I get canned, I'm not going to have a job, and then I'm going to be stressed, and then...
But... Right. Like, what job, could you imagine going to a job where they straight up tell you, you're going to be mentally ill after you work here.
Right.
And if you complain, we'll fire you.
Exactly. And by the way, sign this waiver so you can't sue us for it.
You can still sue. So what I find more funny though, well, I think it's kind of horrifying if that's the case.
Yeah.
But it's also like they specifically hire people from foreign countries and like the Middle East and stuff.
Okay.
Do these people not, like, they don't even speak English? This is the most annoying thing to me when I work on YouTube. Okay. Mm-hmm. I hope you all understand how frustrating it is. Imagine you worked at a job at McDonald's and every day your boss spoke a different language and you were like, dude, I don't know what you want me to do. I made the burger. I put the pickle on it. And then they say something in Spanish and you're like, bro, I don't know. And so they throw it on the floor and then step on it and you're like, no pay today. No pay for you. No dinero. Merde. Oh, can I say that?
Ooh.
I know. Can I swear in other languages? I don't know if I can.
I highly doubt that.
Anyway, the point is, so like I'll make a video, and I made 3 videos talking about Iran. YouTube's like, you're good, buddy. These are great videos. Thanks.
Because it's Iran.
No. Hold on. I made 3 videos.
Okay.
The 4th video I made, they said no.
What was that about?
I did the same thing. So Soleimani, Trump, and like the Iran thing was happening. And so I made multiple videos about it. One never even got reviewed. One of the videos, I don't know why, I said, like, there's nothing in this that's bad. Because even when I talk about war and stuff, I'm very careful about, if I'm not gonna describe in gruesome detail, what happened. Excuse me, hiccups. But one video I did was specifically about the press and how they were talking about Trump. And that one, they told me, crossed the line. And they said not only was it war, they said it was actual depictions of violence.
What?
Now, here's the thing. These videos on my main channel were reviewed by people actually in California.
Okay.
So I can only imagine that it was actually one of these people who thinks words are violence. And they were like, because you insulted the press, that's violence.
Wow.
But people actually believe that. You know that, right?
No.
You've heard that? Yeah, so that's like a big debate. See, here's one of the reasons why I really wanted to do a show with you.
Okay.
Is because I live in this sphere of like psychotic, insane people who believe crazy things.
I try to avoid it.
And you're playing Destiny and like, I don't know, what game are you playing now?
I have my wife always tells me I vacation forever. It's my thing.
Vacation forever.
So
you're outside
I've been
of all
on
this.
vacation for a long time.
This is great. I get to explain to you how terrifying the world is.
Yeah.
There are people who think that actual violence isn't violence and that words are violence.
I mean, there are some instances where I can see words being violent. Assault in a matter of speaking can.
Oh, right.
Not physical assault, but like a verbal assault on someone where you're screaming at them and
that's
following them.
Right.
Maybe. So I don't know.
But that's like creating the perception of danger.
True.
Like if I get in your face and I'm like, yeah, and I'm screaming, or like I get close, you think I might attack you.
So it's
that's actual assault
with the assumption that violence is coming.
But what they mean is like you've got people in protests who will like pull out a billy club and like whack someone on the head and be like, that wasn't violence, or like they'll throw a brick through a window, that is also not violence. And then you'll have someone who says like, you're a stupid doo-doo head, and they'll be like, your words are violence. So basically, it's like they
Sticks
call
and stones.
Yeah, well, that's what it used to be.
Right?
Yeah, that's the way it used to be. Yeah.
A lot's changed.
Without diving into too much of politics, I'll try and avoid that. But we'll keep it to like social media. Like you can make a video where you complain about some policy, and they call it literally violent.
Wow. Like
you're sitting in your room playing a video game, and you start complaining about like, I don't know, Bernie Sanders, and they're like, this is violence.
Wow.
I wonder if I can pull up the super chats too, because I think we definitely should.
I wonder why.
Yes, we got to.
I wonder what's going through their mind. I feel like those types of people are probably reliving some sort of traumatic experience that they went through. And it's like whenever they see those kind of things going on, they're like, I'm there and I'm being attacked. I feel.
But what if like I called you stupid?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe they were called stupid throughout all of their school life, and it like traumatizes them.
Yeah.
So seeing someone else being called stupid, they feel for that person and instantly is like, yeah, this is an attack.
How would you feel if I called you stupid?
I mean, I wouldn't believe you because I know I'm not.
Yeah, but that's confidence, right?
True.
What if I don't know, what's your ethnicity? You're
white?
White?
I don't know.
What if I called you, I don't know, what if I called you a slur of some sort for a certain, you just don't seem to care.
Yeah, I guess it's that confidence. I'm comfortable in myself, so you can
not.
call me whatever you want. I don't care.
And they're not.
True. Yeah.
So I think this has a lot to do with, what's a really good subject, especially when it pertains to like people getting PTSD from watching YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I remember.
Just from watching them.
Yeah. There's a moderator. So like sitting there watching.
Oh yeah. Okay. The moderating.
They sit down. They watch a YouTube video.
But they don't even understand the language you said half the time.
Well, it says here that they're mostly Middle Eastern people.
So basically, what I'm getting is...
Well, wait. Listen.
Go on.
Here's what I was going to say. I watched a video, what was this, 13 years ago? Mm-hmm. And it was a viral video that was going on the internet of a brutal murder. And everybody was like...
It was actually online.
Yep. Yeah, it was
that's
like...
intense. See, that's
it
violence.
Was nuts.
That should be
modern. Well, the video itself is not violence. but it's graphic.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to remove that,
How is that not violence? Someone getting murdered.
No. The murder is the violence.
Yeah.
Watching the video isn't.
Right.
Like you could click the X and it's gone.
True.
You know what I mean? You can turn your screen off.
That's true.
Who was it who said that? Was it Tyler the Creator? I can't remember.
No clue.
I'm probably wrong. He said, "How is cyberbullying a thing? Just turn the screen off. Like turn your head. You know what I mean? Like stop looking.
You don't have to be there."
Yeah. But no. So I remember I watched that video.
Mm-hmm.
I did not get PTSD. I watched it on purpose. I remember it was going viral. I'm not gonna say the name of it because I don't want people to go. But it was a brutal murder in Eastern Europe, and it was going viral on social media, and it was like, remember 2 Girls, 1 Cup?
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like that, but like bad.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what, man? Here's my mentality. You better be prepared for this stuff. We can't just always live in a bubble where everything is perfect.
I mean, with the movies and like the amazing graphics that they're putting out there, it's like it's almost hard to even see if it's real nowadays. Like I've seen some, not murder videos, but like some videos where someone's getting hurt really bad. I don't necessarily like these videos, but sometimes they pop up on my feed and I'm like, oh man, like, did I just watch that?
I mean, but I too, like, here's my question. They put police brutality videos all over Facebook. Why is that okay?
That's true.
Wouldn't that break the rules? Like if I make a video where like I just punch you in the face over and over again, they're like, whoa, it's graphic violence. But when they do these like, the Al Jazeera or whatever, or like Vox will be like, here's a video of a cop doing something. That's fine. Why is that?
Makes no sense to me.
So anyway, here's what I think. I think, when it comes to people who would watch a video and then get PTSD, man, that's a mental fortitude problem.
Well, I think that's a big problem with society nowadays is we're losing our mental fortitude. That's a big thing.
Well, why do you think that is?
I think it's because we're separated. Everyone is taught to be, doing their own thing, and we're taught to worry about ourselves. And humans have made it this far by doing exactly not the opposite of that. We got to be a community, a family, and it's like when we lose that, we start going off on our own mental tangents, and a lot of the times they're wrong. Those thoughts.
But so what about what about being
the surface? I think, but
what about being completely selfish makes you weak though?
I'm not necessarily saying, being selfish makes you weak because, you got to be a little selfish, and take care of yourself, but you also got to be able to talk to other people, and communicate. And
that's a good point.
Yeah. There's a lot of that is lacking in humans, I think, nowadays, is the ability to just talk and not get angry also.
You know what, man? So one of the big factors I think plays a role in this, like I think our generation in particular, millennials, weak, very weak. But
you be the judge of that.
Well, no, there's a lot of strong millennials.
That's true.
But they're like arrogant, aggressive, angry, and thin-skinned. And here's the thing, though. I think you brought up a really, really important point I never actually talk about. I'm always in my mind. I always read things. I have my perspective. So what I think is the like snowplow parents. You ever heard this term?
Mm-mm.
It's so like imagine you have a parent, they have a kid, and they act as a bulldozer for every obstacle in front of their kid.
Yeah.
The kid never develops skills or like learns how to deal with it. I think you just said something really important that we don't talk about. They also don't know how to talk to each other. So when they do encounter a problem, they just point and shriek.
Yep.
Like,
exactly. That's what these moderators are doing. Pointing and shrieking. That's what it feels like.
And the people who report the videos.
Yeah.
Wow,
I'm not offended, but it's going to offend somebody.
Turn it off. Well, these moderators are just doing a job. Like they're hired.
That's true.
And they're told find something. And the most annoying thing for me is somebody who works on the platform. It's like, dude, I once made a video about rape. They're like, that's great. Here's all the ads. You're fine. And it was like a Me Too story on BuzzFeed I was reading. And I'm like, this is overtly in the title. And they approved it.
Yeah.
Then I've done videos about like general immigration policy spotted by Bernie Sanders. And they're like, offensive because you can't talk about immigrants. You never know what you're doing is right or wrong. Well, because you have a different moderator on every single video.
It feels like the person who never had power finally has the little bit of power and they're going to use it. You know, like, oh, I finally have my power. Ha
Yeah.
ha. I'm gonna bring the hammer down on you.
I think it's an issue of like all authority, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a potential for any authority group to abuse their power. Like the police do it, right? I think you know, when I was younger, I was so like anarcho left, like ACAB, the police are bad. And then I started actually talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like I lived in Virginia, and they'll keep the details slim because I don't want to call anybody out. But there was some dude that I knew who like he did something bad on accident, and he panicked and he ran. And that was it. He was like, "Oh no, what have I done?" Like, dude, you should not have run away from that. It was like basically a hit and run.
Oh, okay.
And we were like, "You're done." Like, you know what the cops said? They were like, "Dude, we're not going to destroy your life over this, man. Come on." They were like, "We get it. You panicked. Will you come with us and talk to this person and do right? And you're not going to. There's not going to be no penalty. We're not going to arrest you."
That sounds like a lie.
No, it happened. It happened.
Really?
Totally did. Yeah, they were cool, and I was like, "Wow." I was like, "That was
awesome.
That was really cool."
That's good.
I was like, this kid, he was like 17, did not deserve to have his life ruined because he panicked and he was a moron.
Yeah.
And so those cops were like, you've got to do what you got to do. You got to take responsibility for this.
I gotta ask though.
It was an accident.
Was he white?
No.
Really?
Yeah, he was not. He was not.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't. I don't want to get into too many details because I don't want to like.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna be
no
like,
worries,
don't
no
tell my
worries.
story. But I was surprised.
I just
and
kind of expected that though. You know.
growing up in Chicago, I've had nothing but bad experiences for the most part with like cops.
Yeah.
It's like always bad for some reason. But I think it's because there's something wrong with these cities. I don't know. You find smaller towns,
Yeah.
people are chill. They're more chill. In
That's
big
true.
cities, I guess people are just like, I don't know you.
Well,
I
there's
don't
too
care.
many people.
Well, so anyway, the reason I bring this up is that, you know, not to go on a tangent about like, you know, police brutality or anything, even though we kind of touched on it. I think when it comes to these moderators, most of them are just like approved, approved, approved. And then one of them's going, no money for you. You don't get money either. Americans, no money for you.
Yeah.
And so just Xing everything.
Yep.
I do think when I did on my main channel, when I had like I did 3 videos over the course of a week about Iran, and they're like, that's cool. And the one they gave me, you know, confirmed it's like literal violence. That was probably some like, you know, crazy, angry kid who got bullied in high school who was like, nope, no money for you. Like finally getting to exert their authority and have some power.
Yeah.
Use it.
Do you think they have a quota? Just curious.
That's an interesting question. No,
Like,
I
do
think.
they have to hit a couple of
you know what's-
videos
you know
each day or what?
But you know what's crazy? They probably have to.
Probably, right?
Because think about it, like if they don't demonetize any videos, the managers are going to give them a side eye,
True.
and they're going to be like, So it could be that maybe they've gone through like 50 videos. Especially my videos are like 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and then they're like, if I don't demonetize it, they're going to think I'm lying. Take your
This
money
one's
away.
too long to watch the whole thing. Just X.
Man, could you imagine having like at your job a different boss every day?
No.
You never know what they want.
No. I could not imagine
That's
that.
YouTube. This doesn't make sense. It's not going to work, right? Like, what do you do on Facebook when they delete you? Like, who do you call? Nobody. Bye.
Yeah.
We're building this nightmarish future, man, where we're like predicating so much of our economy and social lives on a private network. Man, I'll tell you what, it's not even about business. So, like, you have a general understanding of Facebook. You know, people post their pages,
Yeah.
they sell stuff. YouTube, people do ad revenue. YouTube would snap their fingers and end my company overnight. Just
Well,
gone.
Here's hoping they don't do that.
Yeah, well, here's hoping. So I'll tell you this. One of the points of this show right now, too, is that we're not going to be talking about as hardcore of issues as I might do on my main channel, where I'm like, you know, I might be like, the world is ending, round, like hold up a sign and shriek. No, I'm kidding. I don't do that. But you know, the goal here is like to kind of just talk about other stuff that might be interesting and fun. We'll talk about these cultural things. And I got to admit,
Will you play some of your music too?
you know what I was thinking? We could play music, but the problem is we don't have mics for it.
I don't know if you guys know this. He plays music and he's
They do,
good.
yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, but so is Adam, right?
I also play music.
Yeah, we jam. But you know, look, to be honest, this is an expansion. This is like, did you know that you can't Google search my channel?
I did know.
Yeah, go to Google, type in Tim Pool YouTube, doesn't come up. Type in Timcast YouTube, doesn't come up. And the same thing's true for a bunch of other people. We don't know why. We think it's a blacklist.
Yeah.
I've talked to some people in various, you know, networks, and they're like, "Yep, looks like you're on a blacklist, straight up." And so YouTube,
I mean, it has to be.
Yeah, that's the only way. Like, why can't you Google search me? That's ridiculous.
Do you check other search engines and you're fine?
Oh yeah. Yep, of course. Yep, Bing, DuckDuckGo, no problem. But Google, and you know what's interesting too is it used to be that on YouTube search, I wouldn't come up and several others wouldn't come up. But this YouTuber, conservative guy, Steven Crowder, did this big thing where he's like, look at this, and it became a big story, and then all of a sudden it fixed. Yeah.
Fixed.
But Google never did. So actually, if you type in Steven Crowder, his YouTube does come up. But if you type in Steven Crowder YouTube, I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So we think it's a blacklist. There's no reason for that. That should be the number one search, but they've permanently like removed us from the results.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
This channel, go to YouTube. Go to Google, type in TimcastIRL YouTube, comes right up. First
Pops
result.
Up. Nice. Yep. All right.
So a lot of people are realizing, you know, some other YouTubers have decided just to do new channels, same content, and I'm like, you know, whatever, man. I'm gonna keep doing my thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my channel the way I've always done it, but I'm gonna do something different. You know, so we're gonna do this, whatever. I don't know. Have we beaten the dead horse of YouTube?
Maybe.
We can take some comments though. So yeah, that was like a 20-minute bit on YouTube. So I'll just read some. Everybody giving on the super chat, thank you all so much.
Thank you guys.
I've got to move this. Like I got to do. Actually, maybe I should give you the chat monitor. Maybe that's what you should have the chat monitor. So
I'll talk.
I got this little thing in front of me that's got like news on it, but I got to like go like this to read comments. So I'll just read through some of the super chats. Someone asks if we have any moderators. This is Eduardo Rodriguez. Seems like somebody posted your stream in 4chan and you have people screeching dumb stuff. Dude, I love it when they do that.
Oh, wonderful.
No, I that's great.
Someone posted it out in 4chan. Great.
Do it.
More the merrier.
Yeah.
Make fun of us. Awesome.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like, dude, we're not thin-skinned.
Yeah.
Like Adam, I was talking about how I could call Adam stupid. He'd be like, you know, I don't really care. I guess.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, dude, for real.
I'm cool with it.
And I actually think, you know what I always tell people is like, you know, I'm talking to some other YouTubers, and we were talking about like the constant smears, and I'm like, I got to be honest though, man. Like, you know, it's good we get a pie in the face every so often.
I love pie in the face.
We should not be left to presume that we're better or anything. Let them come, and if the complaints are legit, I'll say, you know, I deserve that one. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to be one of these arrogant, egotistical, narcissist type, you know, activisty, whatever. Yeah. So look, if somebody wants to post a link somewhere because they're bored or they want to bring people in, they want to make fun of me, like, dude, I mean, I deserve it at some point. I really do. Like, nobody's perfect.
Everyone deserves to be poked fun at a little bit, and everyone should be able to be poked fun at a little bit.
Yeah, but I also kind of think, like, if you're gonna share this link around, like, dude, thank you. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if that's like,
great.
I mean, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, we got 2,800 people watching right now. That's awesome, man. You guys rock.
Thanks, guys. Glad you're here.
Yeah, we're Adam and I are like, I don't want to describe you as like a hippie.
You can.
Yeah, but kind of like...
No, I'm not a hippie. I am... all right. It's hard to deny it but like the classic case hippie is not me, though.
No, I know.
But
like,
I'm very eco-conscious. I am vegan. You know, I'm very aware of my consumption levels.
Oh, yeah, you're a lefty dude.
I have one fork that I use. You know, it's...
Hey, at least you're putting your money where your mouth is.
Among a lot of categories, I'm very hippie.
but so here's the thing, though.
I'm okay with it, though.
You don't poke people, and you kind of don't care when you're poked. No. And what I mean by that is like if somebody came in and started ragging on him for being vegan,
yeah,
he'd probably just be like, yeah,
cool,
yeah, well, I don't care. You know what I mean? We probably wouldn't get along if you were always angry, like, don't call me that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So what I mean by hippie is kind of like someone could walk up to you and be like, hey, dumb hair, glasses.
Hey, long curly haired freak.
You'd be like, what's up? Okay.
You're talking to me,
like,
right?
I don't know what, you know. Someone said, I'm an idiot. I searched your channel on my default browser, DuckDuckGo, and it came up and I was confused for a solid 30 seconds. Well, thank you for the super chat to let me know that. I appreciate it.
I use DuckDuckGo also.
Yeah, I do. It's great. Let's see. Watching this and cooking dinner. Awesome.
Nice.
Let me tell you something. I fully expect, give us like a month. We're going to have like a full like format. We're going to know what we're doing.
Subject, you know, repertoire ready to go.
Yeah. and I'll be honest too. Like I do this every single day.
I won't slip a swear word in there.
Yeah. Like this is your first.
You won't swear in Spanish.
I won't swear in Spanish or French. I wonder what I could get away with in other languages. Maybe that's what I should do.
What test?
Because if
the
it
waters?
if it uploads, yeah, right. Demonetized. They're gonna demonetize this one for sure.
Do it in every language so that whoever what?
Somebody said I paid $2 to call Tim a poo-poo head.
Oh wow!
Thank you for the $2.
Wonderful.
Man. You can call me whatever you want and give me money.
That's great.
You know what I mean? Like I'll stand outside and be like, insult me, give me cash. I'll take it. J-Max says I like this style of podcast. It reminds me of Rogan. I'm interested in seeing what guests you get on and what topics you cover. Thank you.
That's a huge compliment. Wow.
So one of the things I was thinking
you,
is
Jay.
like, I don't think we'll ever be. Look, Rogan is the #1 podcast in the world. Technically,
Rogan's awesome.
Ted Cruz is #1 right now.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding. Yeah, the Verdict podcast with Ted Cruz is #1
wow.
on Apple.
Okay.
Rad. That's crazy. But we'll see what happens because the thing is, Joe Rogan just consistently nails it.
Yeah.
But you know what I think is like, I'm more of a newsman. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, what if I brought somebody on who we could just like riff on crazy stuff, but we did it from a news perspective and not a like person. So like Joe will have a guest on.
Yeah.
And they'll talk about their thing.
Right.
I'm thinking more like we'll talk about a news subject and explore some of these weird stories.
Yeah, I love it.
But yeah, definitely we're gonna have guests. So I've got some people lined up. I'm not gonna name them until like, because
I know who they are. They're good.
yeah, very. No, I shouldn't even say that.
I'm excited.
I wasn't even gonna say. I was gonna describe one, but I'm like, no, they'll know who it is if I say.
You can't
it.
describe. No.
Yeah, they'll immediately be like, I know who that is.
Even
if
someone out there is gonna know, and they're gonna blast it.
So yeah, so the general idea is most of the time it's gonna be me and Adam hanging out, and we're planning on doing this Monday through Friday. We're gonna upload it on the podcast, Apple or whatever, and we're gonna do the individual segments. So like we did like 21 minutes talking about YouTube stuff, so that'll be uploaded as an individual segment talking about YouTube censorship.
Yeah.
And I'll say this too, I'm not gonna be around the bush. I record all day, every day. I can talk for a million years. Hey, this is Adam's first, on this specific podcast, so we've got to figure out that dynamic for like how we get into stories and how long we can get them and how it works.
Well, I'm having fun so far.
Yeah, I think it's great. Like I said, guys, I don't know if you heard me say this in the beginning. Let me give you the best business advice in the world. Just do it. No, I'm not stealing that from Nike. It's true. Okay. If we sat around trying to like drop a show plan and like a schedule at like 10 minutes, we have to do this, we have to hard stop here, we would never get it. And we would turn the mics on and be like, everyone hates us.
Well, we wouldn't have started yet. It's not even 8 o'clock yet.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. I was like, you know what? It's our first stream. We'll just start early. But it's going to be 8 p.m. every day. That's the plan.
8 p.m. is the going forward, though.
And we're planning for like 2 hours even. So
Yep.
it just really depends. Maybe we should make them as long as we can make them.
Yeah.
Like as long as they need to be. But I'm going to give you guys another bit of advice.
Sorry, someone's saying making tacos. I'm interested.
If you're interested,
So
I would.
sorry, that's random. Please continue.
Tim Pool Pro model board coming soon. Dude,
Ooh.
I'm building a skate park in my backyard.
Now that is exciting news.
We built a butter bench for those of you that know what
A
that
butter
is.
bench.
That's what it's called.
I
so
didn't know that.
so
That's
let me
sick.
explain to you guys what it is. It's we basically took, what did we take? 4 per side. So it's 4 2x10 by 8s.
8s, yeah.
They were 16. We cut them. No. We bought them as 8s. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, we got them at 8s.
We were planning to make a 16-foot long box, but connecting them long ways was difficult, so I just made an 8-foot. We took composite
Decking material.
Yes, like the top of a deck.
Yeah.
It's basically a plastic wood pulp mix, and we put 2 on the sides and 4 on top. That's butter bench.
Butter.
So it's basically like a plastic surface, and it's really great for skating. I've skated it already.
Yeah.
So I posted this
Looks
video
so
on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's instagram.com/Timcast. You can see the video. I just put up a video of me cruising around, and we've got a lot more cementing to be done. They're doing more cementing tomorrow. This is going to be awesome. You guys are going to be stoked because this show is going to be special. We are getting this really cool patio built with a fire pit. I got a 100-foot HDMI cable.
100 feet.
100 feet.
Wow.
So what we can do on some of these podcasts is actually go. There's a door right there. You can't see it. Like actually, what you guys don't realize, the way the cameras are pointed, it looks really cool, right? It's actually just like 4 panels, and the rest of the room is regular. It's like a white room.
No, there's 5 panels.
5 panels. Okay, whatever.
Get it right, Tim.
So we are planning on doing another angle. We have a big TV. We're going to do some video game streaming, but there's a door right there that leads. It's underneath the deck. We're getting this stamped concrete patio and a fire pit. The fire pit will not be under the deck. Calm down. And the skate park. And we're going to do some of these as like fire pit hangouts where we like talk with guests or something. Bring the camera out, have someone like carrying it. Oh, we got big plans. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Maybe
I think
we can have some skate sessions, maybe. I don't know.
totally.
Who knows?
Yeah, I seriously think the goal of this podcast is to be, we want to use news stories as a launching point to talk about ideas,
Yeah.
but really just make it an interesting hangout where you talk about weird stuff.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. Let me tell you. I'll tell you guys a secret. And then I've got some more business advice that I really love giving. Every so often, I do a video about UFOs. Yeah. I'm a skeptic. I do not believe that aliens are visiting us. I think it's absurd not to believe in aliens because I think the universe is so big.
Yeah.
But I do think it's fair to say philosophically, if what we believe is about science is all true, if you trust everything we've learned so far, I tend to, yes. Then I think it's fair to say the universe is so big, aliens got to be around.
Oh man, aliens are out there.
But here, I don't know about that.
Not like
I don't know.
walking, talking aliens, but like
That's not true, man.
well, sure. You know what? There might be, man. I mean, this universe is massive. So
So here's the thing, right? Every so often, I'll do one of these like UFO stories on my channel because I love talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But they make no money, they get lower views, and I'm like, I don't care, man. Like this is what I love. I hate about the smears when people are like Tim Pool's propaganda. I'm like, oh yes, my YouTube videos about aliens and the secret Navy files. No, I talk about what I care about talking about. If I see something and I'm like, oh man, I really want to talk about that, I will. And you know what happens to work because there's some things I talk about people like. Mm-hmm. But I think this show is gonna be a better place to do that.
I'm down to talk about UFOs. Sasquatch, sure.
Whatever.
Let me ask you. Remember that article you told me about the other day about the cows being drained?
Cows. So this is actually one of the. This was back in August.
Do you think it's UFOs?
Well, all right. So we got to tell people the story.
All right, tell them the story. This is interesting.
This is actually what got me to want to do this podcast was back in, I think it was like August or September. A bunch of stories popped up about in Oregon. A bunch of ranchers found bulls. Their blood was completely drained. And they were surgical amputations, like perfect, and the underside of their bodies had blunt force trauma.
Like they were dropped from
they were dropped from a high altitude. Yeah. And so what everyone said was aliens.
I mean, what the heck could it be?
Well, look, if you're going to assume it's aliens, I could say ghosts.
I'm not assuming it's aliens, but it's like
it would be Russians before it would be aliens. Like literally Russians coming in like with a spaceship and stealing cows before it was aliens coming with spaceships and stealing cows. But what people assume is,
well, they're not stealing them. They're still there.
Right.
But they're stealing the blood, I guess. Yeah.
So the reason they think aliens is because they're like, something's lifting them up, draining their blood clean, slicing off key organs, and then dropping them.
Yeah.
And so they naturally assume, I'll tell you what, man, you know what it could really be? No, I'm sorry, I take this back. What I was going to say is maybe it's someone disposing of cows, like they're in a plane. And they're like, well, we got a body, push it out the hatch, and then they just drop it out of a plane. Mm-hmm. But the bulls belong to the ranchers. So it's like their bulls one day is found like dropped from a great height.
So weird. Yeah, it's so weird.
So this is a story that actually I saw this and I was like, dude, I should totally like find somebody like we could do a sit down and discuss and like talk about these ideas. Because
hey, thanks for choosing me, Tim. Appreciate it.
I mean, I got to be honest. I'm like, I should see what Adam's up to. Because like you were out doing, I'm not gonna air your personal life or anything, but
it's all good.
You were doing your thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's see what Adam's doing. Maybe he'll want to come and like hang out and talk about aliens.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, sure, I'll come.
I'm so down to talk about aliens and video games and skating and whatever else comes along.
I'll be honest, I love the Joe Rogan podcast, and
me too.
I kind of felt like, what if we could take actual current news as the centerpiece of what we discuss? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I gotta be honest, there's like a much less emphasis on guests for what I plan on doing. But I really do love how like he was recently talking with, I think it was Michael Malice, who was like just like he's like a personality and comedian. I don't know how to describe him, troll, I guess. And they were talking about like just like animals, like weird animal stuff.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like that's why people like his show.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, but I like talking about the news. Like, what if we actually started with like people found these goats or these cows with like no blood? Here's the other thing too. You've got the cryptozoology people at the same time.
What?
Cryptozoology.
Okay, what's that?
Like Sasquatch. The Sasquatch hunters and
okay.
Yeah, Bigfoot hunters and
it's just the special name for it.
Well, because the same phenomenon with like the drained blood, it's not just the blood was gone, it's that there was not a drop anywhere near it.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, and so that's also the chupacabra, right? They would find goats,
right,
totally drained of blood. What if it's I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, I mean, it's more likely that it's just some freak that gets his kicks off by drinking like ox blood.
No, man. You know what it probably is?
What?
It is much more likely somebody knocked out the animal and then drained its blood clean with instruments to steal the blood.
For what?
I mean, there's like, what is it, like the blue crab or whatever? His blood is worth like $1,000 an ounce or some ridiculous amount. I don't know what cow blood's worth. Probably not a lot, but hey, man.
Doesn't make any sense.
Dude, it's more likely Satanists before it would be aliens.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
No, I'm sorry. That was wrong. I should not have said that. That was a slip of the tongue. That was disrespectful to Satanists. I know Satanists. They do not believe in that stuff. I should have said cultist.
They're actually pretty cool people.
Right. That's why I apologize. It was a cliche, and I feel I have offended a marginalized community.
Well, on behalf of them, thanks for immediately apologizing.
Well, no. Like, while I was being a bit facetious,
I'm not a Satanist.
I do seriously say, like, I apologize for that. It's not fair. Because I do know Satanists, and Satanism is very specific and peaceful and has nothing to do with,
it
like...
It really is, surprisingly enough.
Right. It has nothing to do with this idea of, like, you know, hating people or being evil or worshiping the devil or anything like that. Yeah. So I take that back. It's more likely to be cultists.
Yeah.
Now I'll say this. It's more likely to be pagans. Because they do animal sacrifices.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful to that one.
That's actually true. They do.
Do Wiccans do that too?
No clue.
No?
I don't think so. I think that's...
I don't want to... They don't? Why our their producer is shaking their head.
They really respect the earth.
They respect the earth. So we got a chimp to press the button. So you may have noticed that sometimes we can switch the scenes here with the cameras we have. So what we have is a chimp who is sitting at a desk over there. Yeah, and it just goes.
Very talented.
Presses
chimp.
the button. I'm gonna avoid saying your name unless you want to. Okay, we're not.
Anyway,
we do have a producer who presses buttons, and then they were explaining to us how Wiccans love the earth and don't sacrifice animals. Thanks for clearing that up. I do got to give a shout out over here because we got a great super chat. It said, "Wait, this is from 21 Vicroy. I can call Tim a poo poo and support him. Nani? Also, why is it funny to say poo poo? Why is it funny to hear Tim say poo poo? I just said it several times, and you got your $5 worth.
Totally worth it.
For those that don't know, nani means what in Japanese. So it's like, what? I can do this? I wonder how many people actually are familiar with that.
You know what's funny? I never knew that.
Horseshoe crab blood. Thank you, Apocalypse42. Horseshoe crab blood. It's used in detecting contaminants in insulin. Whoa.
Oh, wow.
No, isn't like cobra venom the most valuable liquid? I swear.
No clue.
Can you Google search? Yeah, I think it is. Like it's because you get like such little and it's like dangerous. You got to like smash their head into like a vial and then it like squirts.
No clue.
Scorpion venom.
Scorpion venom.
We got to get you a microphone. Yeah, scorpion venom. What's this? It's the climate cult trying to stop the mass beef industry. Yes, Greta Thunberg is riding around in a hovercraft, kidnapping cows and draining their blood.
Yeah, they're trying to stop animal cruelty.
Yeah, not
add to it.
Well, you don't know that. You don't know that.
All right.
Maybe
You're right. I don't.
Someone said, want to talk cool and wild topics, want guests? Alex Jones is the obvious answer. See,
hold on. Someone wrote that I sound like your dad.
Sound like my dad.
Yeah.
Where's one?
I don't know. Somewhere up there. I might be wrong because I can't really read everything that's there. So I just
someone put a bat
randomly
symbol, a bat emoji for $1.99. Hey, I'll take it.
All right. Hey.
So somebody mentioned Alex Jones. Dude, let's be real, man. People love listening to Alex Jones because he talks about crazy stuff, and he's funny when he rips his shirt off. But man, that guy got obliterated in the press. Do you know about what happened with him and everything?
I have no idea.
They like pulled clips from him from 2012.
Okay.
And just like found all of the worst things he's ever said and got him banned from every platform.
Wow.
I'll admit, man, the dude, you know, he came from a bygone era of the internet.
Yeah.
That era has changed, I think, for the worse. But like, Joe Rogan just said this. You can look into someone's past and take the worst things they've ever said, and if you only focus on that, then you can like make someone look really, really bad. He was something like that. You know, when he was talking about Bernie Sanders, he was saying like with Bernie, you can't really find those things. Not that I care if you can or can't find those things about Bernie.
He's been saying the same stuff for so long.
But you can find those things. He wrote like offensive stuff about different people back in the day. And it's not because he was offensive. It's because what's offensive changes.
That's true.
So, admittedly, right, this resulted in a big smear of Joe Rogan where they were saying like he's a they called him like a birther, meaning like he thinks Obama was born in Kenya. There was
How did they link that?
because he tweeted about it.
Oh my god.
Joe Rogan tweeted something where he's like, in 2011 he said, or it was 2012, I can't remember. He was like, I'm really starting to think Obama wasn't born here, something like that. But it's like, dude, first of all, the dude's a comedian.
I mean, was he joking?
Right,
He
exactly.
is a comedian.
Exactly.
I know.
It's like, at what point do you take it? Do you trust him to be serious when he's literally trying to make people laugh?
Yeah.
And he played. Didn't he? Wasn't Joe Rogan like he played a conspiracy theorist on a TV show on News Radio?
I don't know.
You know the show News Radio?
Yeah, yeah.
was a good show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan's character on that was like a crazy conspiracy guy.
Man, that sounds familiar.
So look, I'm not gonna pretend like Joe hasn't said offensive things. Of course he has. But dude, I don't care, man. Like I look at who the person is today and what they're talking about. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
You're like, man, heaven forbid people dug into my anarcho youth past and found all the stupid angsty lyrics I wrote about smashing the government and stuff like that. I'd be like, oh my god, dude, please no. Yes, I get it. I used to stand in Hollywood wearing like, skin tight black jeans, screaming punk rock songs, acoustic guitar, and I'm like, half the lyrics would make me cringe today because I had no idea what I was talking about when I was like, the government is corrupt, man, anarchy. Now I'm like, that didn't make sense. Like I was just saying things I heard other people say because I was a stupid young person.
Yeah.
Granted, I think Joe was like 35 when he said some of these things.
Okay.
So what though, man? It's like 10 years ago, certain things were okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they shouldn't have been. I don't know. But then today to like go back in time and be like, Kevin Hart, how dare you make this joke?
Well, there's a lot of things that were legal at one point that are illegal now.
And there's a lot of things that are, it's so here's what I'm trying to, it's kind of like inverted. Like we made things illegal that we shouldn't have. And there are things that should be illegal that aren't.
Mm-hmm.
And there are things that are illegal that shouldn't be. It's like
this world's amazing, isn't it?
Well, it's just we our culture evolves. We change. We're not like science is not. It's like science and culture, they change.
Mm-hmm.
Like heaven forbid you actually learned about what I don't know, like Aristotle was doing to little boys. You'd be like, we should never quote that guy again.
Yeah.
Because what they did. I'm not saying Aristotle specifically, but I mean like back in ancient Greece and Rome, they were gross people.
That was the norm.
They were gross. You know what I mean?
They were gross.
The better example I think was Bill Maher. I really do like Bill Maher's show. He was talking with Megyn Kelly, and he said like, if we held everyone to the standard of like today, based on what they said before, Obama wouldn't have got a second term, because Obama opposed gay marriage in his first term.
That's true.
Not even Donald Trump did that. Donald Trump in his first term, he supported gay marriage before he even got in office. I'm not saying that to defend the guy. I'm saying like times change.
That's
like,
true.
even now, a Republican who people hate was like, nah, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna go back in time, Bernie Sanders, it's true, has very few, but he said some pretty crazy stuff. He wrote like some I know I'm gonna get attacked for this because there's gonna be some context I'm missing, but he wrote like a paper about women fantasizing about men forcing themselves on them.
Okay.
Bernie Sanders, he wrote some kind of like essay or something where he explained like the female fantasy of being dominated by force by a man. I'm trying to keep the language somewhat light.
No, I understand.
I already used my H&D word on this one. You know what I mean? Also, I do have to point out too, it's not just YouTube, but when this goes to like iTunes and everything, we got to put the explicit mark on it. It doesn't mean anything. Like on iTunes, it's like you get an E next to it.
Yeah.
On YouTube, they're like destroy. It's so dumb. Think about how stupid this world is. I can go on iTunes and I can hear true crime podcasts in the top 10.
Did you just call the world stupid?
Absolutely. I've offended
Banned.
the world.
Sorry,
No,
go
look,
ahead.
Like in the top 50 podcasts, there's like a handful of true crime where they're like, and then he drew a blade and slit it between her throat, blood spraying the wall. And then you hear a woman scream, and I'm like, that's totally cool. Top podcast in the world, like these true crime podcasts. YouTube would be like, we're going to go ahead and delete that, okay?
Yeah.
Can you make a Blue's Clues parody or something? Or talk about
a lighthearted version of that murder?
Can you do a thing with like Pikachu and Mario being friends and holding hands? Oh, what's that? They're fighting? Ooh, Pokemon, they fight? Animals fight? Oh, can't have that. Delete. Let's take a look at some of these super chats. Thank you everybody for the super chat. Once we restructure things, and I think we're gonna get that monitor and we'll put it here. We'll put the comments on it. You can pull comments.
Yeah.
We'll do more super chats too. For those that are listening, not live, you can come to the live stream every day at 8 p.m., it's going to be Monday through Friday, and we're going to be just talking, I guess. we'll figure out how long we can talk for, I suppose. But the super chats are always welcome, and we do try to read them as much as possible. Once we get a better system for it, then we'll try and read more.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm thinking. I think it'll be like this. I think it'll be like we start the show, we just kind of, shoot the. I can't swear.
Can we spell
shoot
it out?
the SHIT.
Yeah, like that.
I don't know, but
I
just
guess
kind of
we'll find out.
Then we'll take some super chats. Then we'll jump into like a story. Let it go for like 10, 20 minutes where we just we talked about YouTube a lot.
Yeah.
Then we'll jump to super chats, story, and we'll try and like interlace them like that. But I really do think I have no idea what we're doing. Like I was kind of just.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
I was like, Adam, I'm gonna turn the camera on and press live. And,
I'd be like, I can do that. I can sit and hang out with you for a while.
I can't believe there are 3,000 people watching.
Give you my opinion.
You guys are awesome. Thanks for listening to us. Kind of be clueless.
Really appreciate you guys being here.
But we will get really good at this soon. We will.
Yeah.
All right. So Ashton Hamlet says, thanks from the politically homeless. Appreciate you. I will say this too. The super chats are really great, launching points for things to talk about. Do you know what politically homeless means, Adam?
I can assume what it means.
I think you are politically homeless. I'd be willing to bet.
Yeah,
So it's basically like we basically get along on almost everything politically, but you're a pretty lefty guy.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah. But the way you are as a confident sticks and stones can break my bones is not the mainstream, political left these days.
Yeah.
So what happens is, people, I'm going to say people like us, because I assume you're in a similar boat. We're in a position where we're looking for mature adults who have kind of left policy values, but they don't exist.
Yeah.
We do have somewhat like Pete Buttigieg, maybe. I really don't want to make this a political thing, but I think it's, we can talk on this one. It's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I tend to think that I'm a little more towards the center like you. I understand the need of certain systems that are in place, consumerism is a problem for sure, but we still need things,
Right.
We still need
Who do we tell has to die to end consumerism? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you need a syringe made of plastic, right. Who do you choose doesn't get the plastic? If you need heat in your home,
right,
with fossil fuels, who do we say, okay, we're going to end consumerism so you can't have these things?
Yeah,
we're in trouble, man.
There needs to be a way to use the systems that are in place and switch them to a non-fossil fuel way of doing things. See, the problem with Tesla, the cars, it's they still require electricity, and
which is made by fossil fuels.
The electricity comes from fossil fuels. It's
maybe a little better.
Sure.
No, but I think
better.
It's not even about fossil fuels, though. You know what I mean? It's look, we can't grow forever.
Yeah.
In the physical world, there is an argument I talk about that I think the environmentalists miss when they're like, we cannot have infinite environmental economic growth. It's not true, man. The digital economy it's digital. When someone buys the Warhammer of Odin for 99 gold in their mobile game, there's infinite amounts of that. You can keep buying it, and that's an economic exchange that doesn't affect the real. There's no pollution. There is the server cost, the electricity generation, but it's if you bought a physical hammer, you'd have a product, you'd have waste.
Yeah.
So as we shift into a more digital economy, we do see a reduction in physical production and physical waste. But the server space, the computers do take, they do produce, carbon emissions and stuff. But I think we're even improving that. The amount of the servers can hold more data. We can transmit more data with less energy. So we're improving all of that. And I just, I think that's one big thing missed. But in general, I think it is absolutely important to point out, if we just keep having kids, everyone in the world, and I think one thing that's really annoying about the modern political activists for the environment is they seem to be obsessed with America and they ignore India and China, who have tons of kids and tons of carbon emissions.
Yeah.
China way more than we do, double. But if we keep doing this, it's like a path of destruction. We might as well it's like we're yeast. You put the yeast in the bottle, they eat all the sugar, and they poop themselves to death. We don't want to do that. But I don't think the solutions they're offering, they're all kind of extreme, and thus politically homeless.
Yeah.
Where I'm the answer isn't killing millions of people. I get it. Technically, that's an answer, but man, that's not where we want to go.
No. No.
I think a lot of these really young people, like Greta, Greta Thunberg.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah,
about her, yeah.
I don't think she understands when she says we want to end fossil fuels today. You're and millions of people will die.
Yeah, that's not possible. It's not possible.
It is. If you want to kill millions of people.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. If you want millions of people to die, it's like we can't end anything today because it's like all these different wheels are moving together. You know, if you stop one wheel, all of them will
Right,
crash
exactly.
down. You know, it's like
So what makes it so that there's people like us where we're kind of liberal, I guess, but we don't fit in with like the calls to end fossil fuels immediately?
honestly, I think it has to do with confidence because we are our own person, and we have our own strong beliefs. We aren't swayed very easily.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
That a lot of people out there get swayed.
Let me see this. Look at this one.
Like a random comment that has nothing to do with them, and they'll change their entire day to go attack that person, and like, you know, like suddenly that's like the only thing that matters in their life, and it's like, why?
Yeah. Look at this. Here's one. Look at it. Armchair Engineering super chat. Tim, take the red pill and see how far down the rabbit hole goes. So do you know what red pilling is basically?
Go ahead.
It's like there's a bunch of different ways to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this would be great for people who aren't familiar. There's like red pill and there's blue pill. It's a Matrix reference.
Yep.
So typically people who are red pilled are like not necessarily conservative, but you understand the left and the social justice warriors and the authoritarianism and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of this like, you know, red pill, blue pill dichotomy, but it's basically saying someone like, you know, join us, join our side or whatever, or, you know, believe what we believe. It really is kind of hard to explain. There's probably an easier way to describe it.
Drinking the Kool-Aid?
Drinking. Well, that's probably the blue pill.
Oh, right.
So like go back to sleep, join the cult of the Borg or whatever.
Ah, right.
Yeah, the red pill is like you take the pill and you see the hidden truth and you realize what the world really is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's funny because like people would say that to me, but I'm like, dude, it's like I don't look, you know, I really don't want to make this thing about politics, so I'll try and avoid certain words, but like, dude, I understand. Like, I like Bill Maher, I like Joe Rogan, I like Bill Burr, Ricky Gervais. They're offensive. It doesn't change what I believe policy wise,
Right.
but it is a philosophy difference. And so I think, you know, people like us would have no problem sitting down with the guy in a MAGA hat because we're not crazy people. We're confident, you know, chill individuals. We'd be like, I disagree. But politics today is kind of like, you know, you got a faction of people pointing and going, "Rrr. Oh, you're over there? Well, I hate you."
Like, what? You don't even know
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Just because I'm over here?
Did you watch the new Curb Your Enthusiasm?
No.
I need to see it. But apparently, this is hilarious. It's Larry David he lives in California, starts wearing a MAGA hat so that people leave him alone. I need to see it. It's apparently funny.
That's genius.
Yeah, like he's meeting with somebody and they walk in, they see him wearing it, and they're like, I don't want to sit by you.
So
and everyone's
perfect.
looking and scowling. Dude, it's so crazy,
that's
man.
funny.
I grew up in Chicago, and if I saw somebody walking around wearing anything, I'm like, I don't care, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I say to people is, I don't care if you want to dress up like a clown, juggling bananas as you walk down the street. It's the moment you start throwing the bananas at people when I have a problem with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like liberty, freedom. We disagree. You know,
Oranges are better. You suck, Mr. Banana Man.
Right. But that's like the joke about Twitter. It's like you'll tweet, I like bananas. And they'll be like, why do you hate oranges? I like waffles. So you hate pancakes? You admit it. That's what it is. It's like, man,
You're racist against pancakes.
no, but oh yeah, you better believe it. Not even kidding. And then, but you want to know what it actually is?
For the record, I do prefer waffles.
I actually do too. I actually prefer French toast.
Oh, yeah, that's a good option.
But French toast is cheating because
That's
the
a little
bread.
different, though. That's not the same. You know, you got to go from batter to
Right, I was gonna say
product.
it's cheating because French toast is literally you made the bread already. I always thought that like when you make pancakes.
Oh, do you make your own bread when you make French toast?
You have to.
Oh,
Otherwise, what are you doing? Listen. Hold on.
Homemade
Think
bread.
about this. I always thought about this. When you have breakfast and you make a waffle, you take the flour, you little vanilla, some cinnamon, you put an egg, you mix it up, you put it in a little machine, you crank it down. You just made that from scratch. Pancakes. Even if you buy the pre-made batter stuff, you're taking the powder, you're putting in, mix up with a little bit of water, maybe a little cream, some eggs.
Yep.
You put it on the pan. French toast. I take the pre-made store-bought bread,
Yeah.
dip it in some eggs,
Yeah.
and fry it. That's cheating.
It
Why
is-
are we
it
talking
does feel
about
like-
so here's the point I was going to make. Here's how Twitter actually works. If you tweet out, I like pancakes, you'll eventually get someone saying, what's wrong with waffles? you realize that like chicken waffles are an important part of like the African American community, and then like they'll do this like history lesson, they'll say something ridiculous, and then like there's no point.
Yeah.
There's no point. Like I don't even look at my tweet responses anymore. I just don't.
Smart.
I just tweet and then I walk away.
Probably smart.
It was funny. I had somebody ask me, they were like, dude, how do you do so well on Twitter? Like you gain tons of followers. And I was like, I ignore it. It's like a Chinese finger trap.
Yeah.
I tweet, like seriously, I'll be like sitting on the toilet and I'll be like, huh. And then I'll tweet it. And then I'll just put my phone, like stick it in my pants and then go about my business. And then get up and go like make a coffee and I don't even look.
You think that's what Trump does?
Yes, that's why he tweeted Kafifi.
Set it and forget it.
That's why he tweeted Kafifi.
Kafifi?
Do you know what that is? You remember that?
No.
He said, despite the negative press, Kafifi. That's what it said.
What?
So here's what really happened. I'm gonna make an assumption. The Kafifi case.
Oh my gosh.
He probably like got halfway through, and then like wasn't finished and was gonna X out or something, and then like it automatically sent an accident. It was probably that he or it could have been he was typing, and then someone started talking to him, and he looked up, and then he like grabbed the phone with one hand, and it accidentally pressed send with some extra letters. And because Trump is Trump, he just let it go.
He was like,
and he was like, and then he
tweeted,
tweeted, what could it possibly mean? Because the media went insane, and now Kafifi has its own Wikipedia. I'm gonna pull this up.
oh wow, that's amazing.
Let me see. Yeah.
I swear he gets a kick out of watching people go nuts over his tweets.
Totally does.
It's
totally
got to
does.
be the only answer. Nothing
check this
else
out.
makes sense to me.
Kafifi.
Oh my gosh.
Look at this.
Kafifi.
This is crazy. Why does Kafifi have a bigger Wikipedia than I do?
That's hilarious. And
It's like
also kind of sad.
Look at this. This is nuts. I'm not going to read any of this. But dude,
Wait. It says in sports as a reference. What does
what
that
does it say? Thoroughbred racehorse called Kafifi won several significant races in 2018 and 19.
Of course.
Kafifi is a Bay filly born in 2016. She is a descendant of a champion racehorse Unbridled. This is amazing.
That is funny.
I got to tell you, man,
I bet Trump loves that. Loves it.
if a Trump typo becomes more culturally significant than like me, like Trump is truly one of the most influential people who's ever lived.
I think he is.
Totally is. From his TV shows, from his name being on big buildings.
I mean, he
the
wants his
president.
name to be remembered. That's obviously his sole purpose, and he's gonna do it.
We're in a weird time right now.
Yeah, we are.
Like it's so crazy to me to come from like
Kafifi, man.
growing up in Chicago, everybody is pretty much on the left. And now it seems like so many people are just they're insane.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Going back to like politically homeless. It just feels like everyone's lost their minds.
It really does feel like that.
There's very few people who are, I don't know what caused it. Maybe it's because I've paid attention to all these different news sources.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for you, maybe it's because you like avoided them.
I have, yeah.
Like you've minded your own business. You've like,
Really?
you've been with you have a family, you play video games,
Yep.
Magic the Gathering, for instance.
Yep.
And I see like there's a lot of people who, if you only read a little bit, you probably go insane.
Honestly, that's probably what has kept me away, because I know how messed up the world is. I don't know how to fix it myself on an individual level, other than watching what I consume and, being smart about that and trying to eat wisely and spend wisely. But
That's funny what you just said, though. You know why?
what?
You and I are so darn confident. I use up my D words. We're so darn confident when it comes to like, you can't insult us, we don't care.
Yeah.
But when it comes to actually determining what we should do to fix the world, we're both kind of like, I'm not too sure if that would be the right choice. So we kind of stand back a little bit. I feel like that's the appropriate response.
Well, I know what the problem is, though. It's greed. Greed is the problem. People are too greedy. They want too many profit. They want profits over just the right amount.
It's not profit, though. It's like self gain.
Right.
It's not like, I think there's a view that like everything is about how much more I'll put it this way. It's not, how much can I extract from the system is probably a better way to put it. Because that plays into market economics, where people are like, make the product smaller and crappier so we can make more money. But it also plays into the people who are like, I will destroy your life to empower myself.
Yeah.
So there's like an interesting thing happening with social currency, right? So social currency would be like, I got a ton of Twitter followers.
Mm-hmm.
If I go to Burger King and they make my burger wrong, and they don't help me out, I tweet it, I get like 50 free burgers because Burger King's like, oh no, this guy's got all these followers and now they're going to learn our burgers are bad or something. That's social currency. That if I tweeted out something like, yo, I need a place to crash in this place, tons of people would offer me because they know who I am, they follow me, or they're fans or something. Much respect, love all you guys. I really do appreciate that. But it's true. So there are a lot of people on social media who want to extract as much value from a system by any means necessary.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's about selling snake oil. I'm going to sell you a dirty product that will hurt you, but I don't care. Just give me your money. Let me trick you.
That's it.
But it's also about, I'm going to pretend to be outraged so that people follow me, and then I build up social currency. And then they do, this is my favorite part, a new trend from all of these like crazy, angry, offended people is to put their PayPals and their Patreons in their links.
I've noticed this. What the heck is going on?
So they'll tweet something like, did anyone ever notice that pancakes are racist? And the next tweet will be, by the way, here's my PayPal.
Yeah.
And then it's really funny.
It's crazy.
There's one guy, he's so annoying. He responds to every one of Trump's tweets. And he's just like one of the worst people in the world because it's like, why do you got to be just like you are literal negativity?
Well, he thinks that Trump's reading him.
No.
No, you don't think so?
No, because here's what happens. If there's I know these people who do this. They wait till Trump tweets.
Okay.
And then as soon as he does, they respond with something really dumb as fast as they can. You know why?
Because mad people are watching.
Right, and they want to be the top response.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they'll start getting tons of retweets and followers, and they're like the stupidest jokes. And then below that tweet, they'll say, and here's my Patreon.
Here's my Patreon.
And I've looked at some of these people, they get like $400 or $500 a month from just saying awful things to the president. You know what? I'll tell you what. I love that in America, you can.
That's true.
That's great.
I agree.
You can literally, like, you could send a message to the president, you suck. You stupid doo-doo head. Darn you to heck.
Nice.
But you can. That's awesome.
Yeah,
but come on, man. For reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what I love about this country is that if there was something he actually did, maybe like we can talk about foreign policy stuff that I'm always really critical of, you know, like the conflict in Yemen, Saudi Arabia. Those are legitimate things. I can walk up to him and say, how dare you send our men and women over these countries? This is for profit, blah, 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 blah. He can't do anything about it. You know, he can like have a secret service like push me away and say, don't get too close to the president. That I get. That's security. But I can say whatever I want to the man. America's awesome. And now what we end up with, unfortunately, and I accept this, I do. I appreciate it, actually. You end up with these lunatics who say stupid things for stupid reasons just to get followers on social media.
Just to try to make money.
Just try and make money or to feel important, I guess. And I'll say this, man. It's annoying. It's awful. But I guess I'm willing to accept those people if it means I have freedom to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what?
What are you going to say? It's true.
It's like you can't have the light without the dark.
Yep.
That's the big challenge, you know? But that's one of the things they don't seem to understand. They want to ban hate speech.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you can't have the good speech without the bad speech.
Right.
Because then everyone thinks, you know, like who determines what's good or bad.
That's it right there. Who's the one that says what is hate speech or not? You know?
And why is it that was like a George Carlin type like liberal talking point and it's not anymore? Now it's kind of just like, so what? It's violent.
Because sadly, he's not with us anymore.
Dude, you know what I think? Here's my conspiracy theory. I'm going to tell you my fake conspiracy. It's a fake conspiracy theory. I'm joking. The fake conspiracy theory is that the woke outrage waited until George Carlin had passed to pounce. Because I kid you not, if you look at the graphs from LexisNexis, they do data analytics, the words related to like the offense culture and cancel culture spiked the year after George Carlin's death.
Interesting.
It started skyrocketing. And so my fake conspiracy theory, my spurious correlation is like, that proves it. As soon as we lost George Carlin, they pounced. And without him protecting us, he was the mighty, you know, guard at the front gates.
Mm-hmm.
No, he was awesome, though.
He was, dude.
And you know what's funny is like as lefty as he was, you know, like have you ever listened to his routine on environmentalists and like feminists?
No, I don't know.
He was a good comedian.
He was good. He really poked fun at everyone.
Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I went to see Joe Rogan's show about a year. Was it a year ago? It was a year and a couple months ago. No, I think it was like a year ago. Wow, that's crazy. So, did I ever tell you a story about me and Rogan?
I don't think so.
Let me tell you a story.
Oh, I want to hear this.
So, in 2011,
okay,
his show was a lot smaller. People were tweeting at him like, dude, you got to get Tim Pool on your show. Like I just done this big live stream. He tweets at me, bro, what's up? And I was like, let's do it. So we DM'd and I was all excited. And he's like, can you come out these dates? And I'm like, I can, definitely. He's like, okay, cool. Like I'll send you the address. Totally confirmed. Hop on a plane, fly out, canceled on me as soon as I landed.
Oh.
I got to the plane, and I was like, bummer, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a big protest that I was down there to cover, so I was like, it's cool.
Right.
I'm not going to fret about it. I was kind of bummed.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. A year later, on Twitter, people were like, yo, Joe, how come you haven't gotten Tim on your show? And he's like, yeah, we were really trying to do it. Tim, what do you say? You come on the show? And I was like, dude, totally.
Oh, no.
Here's the address. Like, here's the date. Get on that plane.
Oh, no.
Right when I land, burm. Sorry, bro, got to cancel on you. And I was like, oh, dude.
Ooh, singe.
Here's the thing, man. I think I was like 26. And so that was a long time ago. Man, that was 2012. Yeah, so what was that? It's 8 years ago. Wow. So for me, I was like, you know what, man? I was young. My career was not where it is today. And so I was like, dude, I will do whatever it takes. I will fly out. I bought my own ticket. And Joe had no obligation to host me.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. So while I was mad, like, dude, come on, man, twice. My attitude has always been like, listen, I'm not going to get mad at someone for not doing me a favor.
Yeah.
So I just kind of was like, whatever. But then
Good point.
Joe's, he's a good dude. He ended up hitting me up and he was like, I'm really sorry about how everything fell apart. He's like, it's just, I had, something came up. And for me, like, I guess for him, he didn't realize that I was like this young, scrappy, like low income person desperately trying to like take advantage of what I was building up.
Yeah.
For him, it was kind of like, he probably didn't think it was a big deal. It's like, I would cancel on people all the time.
Yeah.
So he invited me to his show and, we got to hang out for a little bit, and he was like, I'll have you on sometime, dude. I'm really sorry. I'm glad we got to meet up. And I'm like, dude, no problem. I watched his show. The reason I bring the story up is because his show was incredible. Like, you might love his podcast, but seriously, you got to check out his sets because he really does rag on everybody, and it is amazing. And I told him afterwards, I was like, dude, it's really like George Carlin, man, for real.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've seen some of his jokes. I haven't seen the whole stand-up show, but like I've seen like, the highlight reels. And
yeah,
you're right. It is very George Carlin.
He's such a. I totally understand why his podcast is so big, because when I was watching his show, he did. I can't remember what joke he did. It was about Hillary or something, and he was like, "Come on, man, you guys can acknowledge like if I make a joke, you know why?" Like poking fun at Trump and Hillary.
Yeah,
and it was basically like saying so many people. What I felt like, I don't have the exact quote of the joke, but so many people take such offense to like if you make fun of their person.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, you can't. I'm not going to give you this one. You have to recognize the fault of the person you like.
Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah.
But then he also did like a joke about cats. Like he seriously had a bit where he talked about cats like chirping at birds. And I was laughing as hard as I could laugh. I'm like, dude, this guy's going to make me throw up. But I'm like, to go from like the most hardcore politics in this trying time to literally talking about how it's funny that cats chirp at birds. Like, for you guys
I don't even know about this.
You've never seen cats chirp at birds?
No.
If you put a cat in front of a window and there are birds, it starts squeaking.
What?
Their jaws rattle like. Yeah. Bucko does it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's our cat. So it's hilarious. But he did a whole bit about it. And I'm like, I have no idea how this guy has made this like several minute bit about a cat, but it was hilarious.
Cool.
And that's why his show's funny because he was like kind of talking about like, why do cats do this?
Yeah.
Isn't it weird? And everybody just had a good time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, to be able to talk about that, because George Carlin had like the hippy dippy weatherman. He had bits that were totally apolitical. Towards the end of his life, though, he got so much into politics. It was awesome.
Yeah.
There's one
His
joke.
filter came off.
Yeah, dude. But think about who Carlin was, man. He got arrested for breaking censorship laws.
Yeah.
Where are we today?
It's almost like they're going to come back. I
Right.
mean, they are coming back.
They are. Virginia. So this is a funny thing. Virginia has a law that says if you say something immoral or encourage an immoral act on the internet, in Virginia, it's a misdemeanor.
What would be encouraging
I have
immoral
no idea.
act?
No idea.
Like,
The law's like, it's like a harassment law or something. And it says, a lot of people think this law is new. I see a lot of people sharing online saying like, what's Virginia trying to pass? No, that law already exists. They're trying to amend one word that's from like shall be to is or something. But for the most part, that law is, it says like, if you threaten or, harass or stalk or encourage to commit an immoral act, that like you're in violation of like the law and
so not
guilty of a
necessarily
misdemeanor.
a crime.
Right,
But
immoral
just
act.
immoral.
If I said, go F yourself.
But that's not illegal.
It is now.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how this law exists. I certainly feel like if it got challenged in the courts, it would never hold up to scrutiny under the First Amendment. But yeah, we're going there, man. And you know what's worse? It's not going to be. It's not going to be. I don't care about the law. I'm not worried about what's on paper in the legislation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried about the fact that, like, we're on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
YouTube could be like, "What's that? He said F, delete,"
Mm-hmm.
and just delete everything. So you end up with these people who say, you ever hear that saying? I think it was from Rothschild. He said, "Put me in charge of the money, and I care not who makes the laws," or something.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm getting that wrong. Maybe that's a fake quote or something. I have no idea. But I feel like right now we have this quote where it's basically like, "Make me a moderator of YouTube, and I care not who makes the laws."
Yeah.
There was this dude, Robert Epstein, I think his name is.
Okay.
That's okay. And he basically testified before Congress that Google had flipped like 1 million plus votes from Trump to Hillary based on how they were handling certain search results.
Wow.
And that if the trend continues, it could flip like 4 million in 2020.
And they admitted that they wanted to get rid of Trump, didn't they?
No. But there is leaks from employees of the company. So
That's what I was referring to then.
there's a video that got leaked, and this was by a left-wing publication. This was like The Verge or something, or maybe it was Polygon. I don't know. Where it's like Sergey Brin saying like, I am deeply offended by this election or something.
Mm-hmm.
So we know they're biased, man.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is they claim they're not, but what it really is, it's basically like, dude, if you take 100 people and put them in a room,
Mm-hmm.
and 90 of them hate Trump, and then you ask them to build a system, the system is not going to favor those who think different from them.
Right.
But they're not even going to realize they're doing it because they all think they're normal people.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's kind of like if you found 100 people and 90 of them liked eating dirt, and then the rest of the world did not like eating dirt. Let me do this. Let's say a social network emerges, and you're like, I'm going to use a social network, and all of a sudden you start getting advertisements for like why you should eat mud. This is really weird, you'd say.
It's high in B12.
It's because their company is disproportionately full of people who eat mud, and they're all looking at each other saying, but this is normal. Everyone in our office eats mud. Yeah. Not realizing what they're doing, and the average person is complaining, being like, dude, stop sending me these mud eating things, man.
Yeah.
And then they go to court, the Congress, and they're like, we are not biased against people who don't eat mud. We are just, yes, I think people who work with us like eating mud. And then they say there are no rules blocking people who don't. But then everyone there is shocked when people don't eat it, so they hold it against you.
Yeah.
Or I think it might be the better way might be like an inverse. Like, basically what happens is all of these people in Silicon Valley don't realize they're in a bubble.
Mm-hmm.
They don't realize their opinion do not represent 99% of America. So when they enact rules, they're like, but everyone thinks we should ban somebody who says mean words.
Yeah.
And it's like, literally no. Like Bill Maher said, 80-90% of liberals hate this stuff. This is what's scary too. And this was amazing. He said this with Megyn Kelly, like they're willing to vote. What did he say? They'll take it from the mouth of a werewolf if they push back on political correctness. Like they don't care who it is. They don't care how bad Trump might be. So long as Trump says, I will not be politically correct, they're going to be like, you're the guy. And that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's take some super chats, huh?
Sure.
We're at an hour and a half. What a crazy
wow. Nice.
nonsense. This, here's one. This is great. Your buddy is pretty chill for a vegan.
Hey, thanks. All right.
Nah, man. Look. We got diet cheese, and I was saying, diet cheese. I don't think it should be marketed as vegan cheese because it's really good.
It is good.
It's good. It's like it's just like a different kind of cheese.
There's some really good vegan cheese out there. Vegan, like what they're doing with all the different varieties of food is amazing. You know?
So the funny story I told you, when we were at Occupy Wall Street, we got a bunch of free pizzas delivered.
Okay.
And
half,
like not half, but like a handful of the pizzas had a weird texture to the cheese, and nobody wanted to eat it because they were scared someone would send them like poisoned food or something.
Yeah.
They trashed it, and then someone else was like, "Was it vegan cheese?" And then we were like, "Oh,
probably."
But no, I think it's funny because they were like, "This tastes weird. Is this poison?" And they threw it in the trash. No, but to be serious, vegan food. There's good vegan food, and I think it's weird to me that oftentimes they label things as vegan food instead of just food.
Well, I was just at this diner, and they won best Philly cheesesteak in South Jersey, and it's vegan.
Did the judges know it was vegan?
I don't think so.
Yeah, like it just tastes good.
Yeah.
But it's not even
It's like,
about whether
that's
it's
awesome.
cheesesteak. It's literally like the vegan cheese that we have. You could literally just call it a kind of cheese. You could literally.
It is
Right.
cheese.
Right, it is.
But it's dairy-free cheese.
It's made from like tapioca or something.
Yeah.
All I know is like, if I was gonna like look at the different cheeses every day, like I got Munster, I got Pepper Jack, I'll take the Daya. Like it's just food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how about the cheesecake? Best cheesecake I've ever tasted was the vegan cheesecake.
But you're biased. You're a vegan.
That's very true.
Yeah.
But I was obsessed with cheesesteak my whole life.
It is good, but I will say this. That's why I think it's stupid to call it vegan. It was a coconut cream cheesecake.
You're right.
Just call it a coconut cream cheesecake, and you're like, people would be like, oh, cool, coconut cream.
And it probably would sell better.
It absolutely would.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like, why does everything got to be like, because they know they're targeting a market.
Well, I mean, I look for it now. I look for, the vegan section, because that's where all the stuff I'm looking for.
There was an ice cream I got in a bodega in New York, and it was like, it said vanilla coconut cream. Mm-hmm. And I was like, ooh, vanilla coconut cream. I thought that was the flavor. No, it was literally made from coconut oil. It was an ice cream that was totally vegan. I didn't even know it was vegan, not marketed as vegan.
Sounds
and then
good.
I read the ingredients. I was like, oh wow,
no dairy.
Like, well, I don't understand why they don't do that more, because people would, especially the environmentalists too. Like one of the big things they say is that animal products are one of the biggest causes. Mm-hmm. Yet it's funny when you see them like eating cheeseburgers, because you're like, dude, you don't have to do that if you really want to advocate for this stuff.
Right.
But that's like a huge play. I think it's cool they're doing the Beyond Meat stuff, because it's like pea protein.
It's really, really good.
I would say most of what I've had is good.
You tried the Beyond Sausage, right?
Yeah, it was good.
Oh my
good.
gosh, I'm not being paid by them, but it is amazing.
It tastes like regular sausage.
It really does.
But I don't think it needs to be. It's weird to me that they market it specifically as a plant food. Like nobody goes, our sausage is meat. It's like we know. Like I guess maybe that's why.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, but like, could you imagine if like, whenever every food that was marketed, they explained to you exactly what it was? Mm-hmm. No, we would just make an assumption. They could literally call it, I guess, because meat is ant product. Like
there's commercials saying like, be manly, eat meat. Like it's been going on for quite some time, like 20 years. I just watched Game Changers. Have you seen that yet?
No, what is it?
It's a documentary on Netflix about vegan athletes, basically, and how they're performing better than non-vegan athletes.
But I think that is, they're more conscious of, well, I shouldn't say they're more conscious of their diets.
No,
I think you're biased.
Scientifically is shown very clear and concise in this video.
You're going to get a ton of people saying you're wrong.
By all means, go watch that video. I implore you to watch the Game Changers. Wait. It's great.
I did a video about like some vegan thing, and like the vegan community came after me.
Oh, really?
Not really. They were just like, Tim Pool is wrong. I'd like to debate him. So I don't want to be exaggerating.
Oh, that's all right.
But they were immediately like, they made videos responding to me like, Tim Pool's wrong about these vegan things, and I'm like, I read an article, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I'm down. So wait. Here's one. I gotta answer this one. This is a $20 super chat from Red Dog saying, who would win in a fight, Gavin McInnes or Alex Jones? Gavin.
See, I don't even know.
I want to say I'm not entirely sure, but I think I got to give it to Gavin. Gavin is like, he created the Proud Boys. Do you know who the Proud Boys are?
No,
he was one of the original founders of Vice.
Oh, okay.
They call him like far right extremist. I'll be the first to admit, like if you were watched his stuff, he definitely crossed the line in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? He ended up getting banned and stuff like that. He still got a YouTube channel. Alex Jones, I think, was just like a silly character, and I think they took that too far. Like Alex Jones on Joe Rogan, like getting all red faced and like swinging his arms about like animal hybrids. And like,
what?
Yeah, it was crazy. And it's crazy to me that like you could look at 20 years of Alex Jones's work, find these select moments and use it to destroy everything he has. Mm-hmm. To me, that was like, dude, that's weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's it's really scary to me about the whole thing with the banning of people like Gavin and Alex is the assumption that human beings are stupid.
Yeah.
I think human beings are stupid, right? Like George Carlin said.
Well, the average human being has a less than average IQ.
Well, no. The average human being has an average IQ, right?
but that IQ is surprisingly low, actually.
But no, look.
If you have looked into that.
George Carlin said it best.
Shocking.
Think about how stupid the average person is.
Okay.
Now realize half of them are stupider than that. That man was amazing.
Truth. Yeah, that's true.
So it's not that the average person is. It's just there's half of them are stupider than that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, man. I cannot get past this idea that just because you think too many people are stupid, you would take away their freedoms.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if people want to watch Alex Jones rant about mutated cow hybrids, like, what do you want me to do? Dude, I know a guy.
So let him.
I know a dude who's a flat earther.
I do too.
And I'm like, what they watch on the internet is nuts.
I agree, and he's he made me. Well, I actually wanted to.
He made you watch it.
I mean, I'm curious. I'm always like, he's a buddy of mine, and I was like, show me, prove to me, please, show me what made you believe it. And he showed me all the videos, and I, was giggling.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't hold it. It was just, it's absurd. Some of the science that they use, it doesn't make any sense.
My favorite was,
or they call it science, rather.
My favorite was one guy who said that he was going to fly in a plane and bring a leveler with him, and that
I saw this.
If the leveler stayed the same, it would prove that they're flying on a flat surface. Mm-hmm. And his argument was that because the globe is round, the plane would have to go down periodically.
Yeah.
Because he didn't understand how gravity,
big the Earth is, also
how gravity works. So because
That's
gravity
funny.
is what provides
it's a constant from the center.
yeah. And so afterwards he got all excited, like, there it is. I time lapsed the whole thing. Look, man, I don't care what you believe, dude. Look, I get it. We can sit here laughing because we believe the people listen to us, agree with us, or whatever, or don't. I don't know. I don't care what you believe, man.
Yeah.
I know people who believe that the son of a carpenter was the son of the Lord and stuff. And I got no disrespect. And I know some people who believe that Muhammad was the prophet, or believe in the Torah, or believe in Buddhism.
Exactly.
And I'm like, listen, man. There's an objective reality, but there's also our individual. And as much as a lot of people don't want to admit this, we have a worldview. We have things we hold true that other people's don't.
That's true, yeah.
And if we want to live together and be peaceful and everything, we got to recognize that. And so when I see someone like Alex Jones saying crazy stuff, I just say, I will choose not to watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
But then they get mad because he was too influential. He helped Trump get elected. That was it. He had to go. Yep.
Man.
No, it's true. I mean, they banned a lot of the influential Trump personalities.
Wow.
The people who were supporting him for dubious reasons.
Dubious.
Like it's just not legit.
Yeah.
There's one guy, Paul Joseph Watson. His Instagram account is all selfies of him and him smoking cigarettes. And I know one comedian who refers to him as the handsome guy.
Okay.
Because referring to the conservative, he's like, oh, is that the conservative handsome guy? Because his Instagram is literally just him smoking cigarettes and looking at the sunset. They banned it. They banned that. They were like, you can't do that.
What?
For why?
Why? What?
Yeah. What
How
is
did
this?
that get Trump elected?
Unpersoned. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
But
weird. That doesn't make sense.
It was because angry people on the internet believe that if you're stupid, you shouldn't be allowed to watch this stuff.
To be influential either.
Yeah.
It seems.
Yep. That's a dangerous future, man. That's like worse than 1984.
Yeah,
it's like all of the bad
scary
things combined. That's where we're going, though.
I don't know. I do feel like there is some semblance of camaraderie in humans nowadays that we need to change something. We don't know what it is yet. That's the problem. But it's I don't know. I definitely feel like we're making a shift in the right direction.
Maybe.
We're realizing that the Earth is going to die if we maintain this course, and we can't have that.
Yeah, but here's the problem, man. The people who are leading the charge on that are the lunatics.
I can't say no.
Look.
You're right.
You've seen the Greta Thunberg stuff, where she scowls and says, "How dare you? You've stolen my childhood."
Yeah.
Here's what I explain to people. I call it the Greta Thunberg challenge. What do you think would happen if I went out, wore these clothes, these normal clothes I'm wearing right now, and waved to somebody as I walked by and reached out to shake their hand, and then said, 10 seconds. I think we got a serious problem with the environment. I'm just letting you know. Try and keep your lights turned off. I'm hand out a flyer saying here's some things you can do to reduce your electrical bill and help the planet. What do you think? How would people respond to me being like, check this out?
Well, if it was New York, they'd just walk right past you.
Most would. But you think it's fair to say that some of them would be like, cool, man, thanks.
Yeah, all right, probably.
And a handful of them might actually read it and might actually flush less or shower low-flow toilet. They might listen. What do you think would happen if I stood outside and when they walked past I scowled and yelled, how dare you? You've stolen my childhood.
Well, I mean, in that same sense, though, she's not talking to random people on the side of the road, the everyday man.
No, she's speaking at the UN.
I know. She's talking to those people in charge.
But the news broadcast it to everyone.
But she wasn't sitting on the camera talking to the people.
Okay, so hold on.
I mean, that's what I'm assuming anyway.
But you think even if you went to a world leader and scowled and yelled at him, they'd listen to you? It's just not the case, man.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
It's true.
So it's like...
I guarantee 70% of the people in that room were
Got
just
angry.
were just sitting there waiting for her to stop talking.
Yep. But
You know
that's
what I
true
mean?
of all of them. You know what I mean?
Probably.
They don't care what your cause is.
It's like, are you a child lecturing us? You don't know
But so-
anything.
So here's my issue is like I worked for these nonprofits. You know, like I was a fundraiser for Greenpeace. I canvassed on behalf of a bunch of different, you know, organizations for the environment. And we know you have to be fun, funny, nice, smile, work with people, figure out,
Yeah.
you know, what they need and how to communicate. And if you approach them as an enemy, angry, yelling at them, screaming the end is nigh, they're going to be like, get away from me, dude.
That's actually part of the reason I have an issue with most vegans.
Because they're screaming the end is nigh?
Well, no, they shove it down your throat. If you eat meat in front of them, they're like, bah! It's like,
But that's a
I
stereotype
don't
about
care
vegans.
what you eat. I don't care.
Yeah, right.
I don't care
I
what you
disagree.
believe.
I got to say this, though.
You know, it's like we got to stop caring about what other people believe and do. It's like just worry about yourself
To an extent.
to an extent.
To an
Yes,
extent.
you know, obviously we kind of covered it earlier. It's part of the issue in the world. You know, is that we're doing our own thing too much. But
Yeah.
you know, it's like
Yeah, but you know what, man? We used to have a collective mission, like the space race, for instance.
Yeah.
We don't anymore.
I
Like,
know.
there's nothing.
Yeah, they're right.
And you know,
what is there?
there was, like-
Mars? Another
But
planet.
not even, because
No,
in
you're right.
America right now, when Elon Musk launched the car into space and everybody was really excited.
Half people got pissed.
Right. They were like, why are you wasting money? Because they don't realize the money is spent on Earth. They think it's spent in space or something.
Yeah.
I don't understand what they're thinking. But that's a good example of people who have no idea how economics works.
Yeah.
Like, here's another fact, too. The money that people complain about being spent on foreign war is mostly spent here. Like, we build things here and ship them out. We pay people here, but it's not always. But
Yeah.
I do think it's fair to point out that a lot of what we do in terms of the military budget is spent in this country.
Yeah.
And that goes to people who buy products in this country.
Okay.
For that matter, too, like, national debt is mostly held by Americans and, like, companies and you know, the government borrows from its people and stuff like that. But a lot of these people, they saw what Elon Musk was doing, they got mad about it. So how are we supposed to have a collective mission as humanity if everybody hates, or I shouldn't say everybody, but there's a group of people dedicated just hating everything?
That's true. That's what
Man.
it feels like.
Yeah, I recorded a segment for one of my channels earlier about Kobe Bryant and that woman who, like, tweeted that negative story about his past and the accusations against him. And I'm like, dude, it's like your job is
That's so
just to be
rude.
mean.
Yeah.
Just to
like,
drag
really
people down.
today you're gonna do that?
Awful people.
Yeah, that's awful. Man, that's
Someone says a man has fallen in Wuhan City. I mean, there's a bunch of these videos. Yeah, we can talk a little bit more about Wuhan. I'm getting tired, actually.
Yeah.
You know, let me tell you something. I woke up at 6 a.m.
you're a beast, dude.
I sit around. I basically, when I wake up, I get on my phone. You'll notice this too, because you'll see me tweet. Like, if you follow me on Twitter and you follow the times I tweet, it's like 6:15. Because I wake up at 6, I pick up my phone, I'm like laying there. I have this thing where my lights slowly turn on.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because like
Sunrise.
Yeah, because in the winter the day is shorter, but I like waking up with the sun.
Nice.
So I have them slowly brighten, and I wake up and I'm like, ugh. I pick up my phone, start scrolling through, reading some news, and then, you know, eventually I get up to do my morning routine. By about 7 o'clock, I've got my coffee, and I'm reading news and I'm preparing for the day. I usually finish everything between 3 and 4. Now we're doing a new show, so it's like today I finished around 3:40,
And you skated.
and then I skated
Yeah.
because I'm trying to exercise more. Because I used to skate all the time. I used to run on the treadmill, and then, man, just I don't know, just you fall out of the habit. It's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But more importantly, like when I was skating, it's not when I was living here. It's really difficult to skate where I'm at. There's no skate parks. The ground is not good. Now that we're building the space that I can finally start skating again and getting back in shape. So that's important to me. So then I skated. Then I did a business phone call. Then we did the show. So
Yep.
it's like I literally have not had one break. And that's the plan going forward for the next several years. So it's literally like my plan is to wake up at 6 a.m., try and get done around 3, which is a problem because my last segment goes up at 6:30 and I don't like big gaps between when I record.
Oh, okay.
Then I'm going to do skating for about an hour. Then I'm going to do the first time I eat for the day will be like 4 p.m.
Yeah, that still boggles me.
That's got to do it. And then after that, I'll probably have about an hour to like kick back and maybe watch an episode of Family Guy or American Dad. Then we come here and we sit down and start doing the general work for the most part. So that's kind of the plan. You know, we'll see how it plays out. I think one thing's really apparent too. So for those that are just tuning in, this is like the first podcast we've done You know, I know that
Yep.
people might be listening who have listened to the whole thing, but I think it's very obvious that we're getting into that groove. Like we had some good conversations already.
Yeah.
We did some segments, and so we're gonna get that format structure, much better. Yeah, man. And then you just let it happen. And my mission will be after I'm done, I go right to bed, and then I get a perfect 8 hours of sleep.
Nice.
And I wake up at 6 a.m. again. Yeah, I don't eat until around 4 p.m. every day.
Well, they say breakfast is about when you break fast, and it's not about when you eat. It's about what you eat.
You know what's funny?
That's really the more important thing.
I haven't had breakfast in a long time, and then a friend of mine convinced me to start having like a protein.
You have breakfast every day.
What are you talking about?
When you eat.
What?
For the first time.
Oh, sure. But no, but I mean like in the morning. And so I did it for a couple of weeks. No way, dude.
Really?
It did not feel good.
Hmm.
Yeah, so, and then it was funny because the last day where I was like, I'm not going to have breakfast because I was doing fine without it. Now I feel sluggish. And I was only eating protein. I was eating eggs and cheese and like a glass of milk or something.
Well, maybe that's why you were feeling sluggish.
Yeah, but what am I supposed to do? Eat starch and carbs?
Well, no, you can have
Leafy
some
greens?
fruit, maybe
fruit.
banana.
Fruit, harsh. Maybe banana. Okay, banana, I concede. But when I wouldn't eat breakfast, I feel energized all throughout the day. And then whenever I eat, it's like my body goes in digestion mode, and then I like feel more tired. So, look, I just ate before we did this, and I feel fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, so I stopped eating breakfast, and it was funny that day. I was like, I'm not going to do this. Fox News ran a segment saying breakfast not really that important. It was like Dr. Oz or something saying, what we think we know about breakfast. And you know what I really love about these like cable news health tips is that they flip flop
all the time.
Right.
It's crazy.
I remember when I was little, there was a segment. So I grew up in Chicago, and I think it was like Channel 7, ABC was like, in the morning, they were like, coffee, is it really bad for you? A new study says people who drink coffee see an increased risk of certain cancers. And then at 10 p.m. on Fox, they were like, a new study finds that coffee actually reduces your risk of cancer. And I remember like asking my mom, and she was like, they say this every day. It's like something different every time.
Yeah. John Oliver has those, and now this. And he did the crazy news segments on some like small town news channel, and it was just like the craziest stuff.
Small town news is amazing. It's
it is
you'll see one where they're
hilarious.
like, Johnson's dog was stuck in a tree today and it jumped out and landed in a well. And you're like, the stuff that makes the news in places where like not big cities is great.
Yep.
It's funny, like there was a water main break. You know what's really weird? Since I've moved down to the Philly area, there's been a lot of Philly news. For real. Because I was living in basically in the New York metro, and all this New York stuff happens. Like we had some bombs were planted a couple years ago, and I like rushed into the city, and it was nuts. And then there was like the Spider-Man guy who climbed Trump Tower because he was like a big fan of Trump and he wanted to get a meeting with him.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Then I moved down here, and then it's all of a sudden like a major shootout in Philly, a water main breaks at One Liberty Plaza, and I'm like, is it just like a confirmation bias kind of thing? Because I'm living here, I'm hearing this news, and I'm like, no, I'm seeing viral trends on Twitter. I'm like, what is this? You know what it must be? Let's what do we got? We got like 13 minutes. Let's wrap up with one second. Let's talk about simulism. You know what simulism is?
No.
It's like this belief or like this idea that the world, the universe is a simulation or like a video game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's why I'm bringing it up. Perhaps you're all NPCs. All of you. Even you. That's right. I'm the only one playing the game. This is basically my Skyrim. And cool. I'm the guy.
All right.
Yeah.
You're the hero.
So I have this fun idea. Like basically...
Sonder.
It's
the idea of imagining that every other person is as complicated and deep as you are.
Oh, yeah.
It just popped in my head when
So here's the thing.
you said that.
I think if we do live in a simulation, it's actually a MMORPG.
Okay.
They should call it like, I don't know what they would call it, like Warcraft. But I'll look at, I say it because of this, right? I've met a lot of people that I swear are NPCs. Okay, that means non-player character, like,
Yeah.
So here's the way I explain it to people who may not be familiar. I'm sure most of you watching are familiar with a lot of these ideas. You have Mario Brothers, for example. The original Super Mario Brothers for NES. Easy way to explain it because like everybody knows that game. Little Mario character. You control that person. You control him. When you press the button, he jumps. That's you. But when he meets Toad at the end of the castle, Toad talks to you. But there's no one pressing buttons for Toad.
Yep.
That's a non-player character.
Nice.
No one is there controlling it. It's just a program. I have met people where I'm like, I swear this person is not
Yep.
an active player.
I have met those
Like-
people, man.
But really, it's just like dumb people. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to literally think.
You're
It's just
right.
like, you're like,
I
man,
know.
they must be so dumb. They must not actually. But then I'm not saying this as a literal belief.
So
I'm just
harsh
saying.
when you say it out loud like that, though.
Well, some people are dumb, man.
know,
It's
it's
just
true.
a fact. You know, I've seen Forrest Gump. That guy was successful, but he was dumb. So, if the world is a simulation, based on the fact that there are some people that are really, really dumb, and some people seem to actually participate, seems like we're in an MMO. If everyone was a non-player character, you'd be playing like Skyrim, a single-player open-world game.
Yeah.
If everyone's a non-player character, you're in a general simulation where like everyone's equal.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think therefore
More
I am.
like the Matrix, in a sense.
I think therefore I am, which means we're at least in a single-player open world or an MMO. Because if we were in a simulation, I wouldn't think, would I? The
Well,
computer would dictate the moves.
I think, therefore I am, Tim. So I'm the player.
Well, that's exactly what an NPC would say to defend its existence. Dang. No, I'm kidding. But so basically there's like three versions. There's a version where there is no player, we're all equal. Maybe it's like not a simulation, or maybe we're just it is a simulation and someone's just monitoring the data and we're all equal. Then there's the other extreme of maybe it's only you. Maybe you, Adam, are the only active player. And even I'm an NPC.
Yeah.
And like I'm the innkeeper here to just be like, welcome to the show, Adam. What would you like to do? And then you just like answer questions. But then there's the third option where some people are actively participating and some people aren't. To me, that seems like if there was a simulation, it'd be more likely to be that, right?
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know if we're actually in a simulation. Apparently, there's like some experiment to try and figure out if we were. I don't know how that makes sense.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing about the whole simulism thing was, I can't remember who said it, but there was like some famous scientist who said, if existence is a simulation, we definitely don't want to prove it because it would taint the results of the simulation and they would terminate us.
That's a good point.
But I'm like, wait, hold on.
Well, terminating the simulation, wouldn't that just wake us up?
No. We're not real people.
Oh, right. Well, actually, you don't know. Because you said there's 3 different versions, right?
No, those are just like, I mean, there could be theoretically millions of versions, right?
I guess I was
There
going
could be a
off the
version-
Matrix idea.
There could be a version where there's only 2 players,
Right.
you know, and like you got like it's a 2-player game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like being somewhat silly.
Yeah.
But the idea is that we aren't actually alive. Neither are any of you. We're just bits in a simulation, and that if we discovered it was actually a simulation, they would terminate the simulation and we would cease to exist. Who cares if you cease to exist?
You wouldn't know it.
Right. Yeah, it's like, what's the question? Would you be upset if you died? Like, if you died right now, had a heart attack, would you be upset?
I can't answer it. I'm dead.
Right. The answer is no. Well, you can't be upset. You're dead.
I'm sure my family
Now-
would be upset.
Right. We don't want you to die.
Right.
But it's a joke about like the personal experience and existence. If the simulation stopped and we all ceased to exist, we wouldn't be too bent out of shape about it. We'd be like, we wouldn't exist.
We'd be like,
Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's. Someone said you're going to love Justin O'Toole. Thanks for the super chat. You're going to love Ryan Reynolds' Free Guy. Is it out yet? Because I'm really excited to see that. You know what it is?
No.
Free Guy.
No.
He basically plays an NPC who discovers like, I guess he's an NPC. He's in a video game or whatever.
Oh, no.
And then he finds like the visor the player wears that shows the HUD, the heads-up display. And then
sick.
finds like a healing pack and then like regenerates himself.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, it sounds fun.
really good.
And Ryan Reynolds is amazing.
he is
by the way.
good. He's funny. I just watched that Underground 6 the other day. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
you
but
seen
it's a what you call it? It's a Michael Bay.
Oh, was it?
Is it? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
It was okay.
It was a fun popcorn flick in my
Yeah,
opinion.
exactly.
Armchair Engineering says, look up the double slit experiment on YouTube. It explains it with quantum physics. Yeah, so
fun.
but the double so I'm not a quantum physicist, but the double slit experiment, in my understanding, is like grossly misinterpreted by a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Do you know what it is?
No.
So basically, what they did was, and I'm going to give you the cheap YouTube explanation version that I watched because it's probably wrong in some way. But they took a board and they put a slit in it. And the idea is if you fired, say, like darts randomly at the board, behind the board, you'd see a straight line of darts, right? Because the darts are blocked everywhere but that hole. That slit.
Right.
So the idea is then if you put 2 slits and just fired a bunch of darts at the board, behind the board would be 2 lines of darts,
Okay. Right.
So they did this with I think, electrons.
Yeah. I
And
actually know this
With,
experiment.
right. With the single slit, they got a straight band.
Mm-hmm.
But with the 2, they got a wave pattern. And so what that means is that electrons, there's what's it called? It's been so long since I've read a lot of this stuff, but the general idea is we don't know at which point wave function collapse occurs and it becomes from a wave to a particle. And so a lot of people interpret this to be that because we observe at what slit it's going through, we
alter its course
into a single point. And then so when you observe the double slit, so basically
exactly.
when we try to measure the double slit, we get 2 straight lines. And when we fire it without measuring, we get a wave pattern, meaning that upon looking at it, we're causing the wave function to collapse.
Observation makes the difference.
But here's the misinterpretation.
Crazy though.
Let me give you let me give you an example. Imagine there's an ant on the table.
Okay.
And it's walking down. There's a line in the table.
I'm seeing it.
And it's walking down this line.
Okay.
So you're like, it's walking in a straight line. Let's measure how far it's walking. So we put a ruler down, but all of a sudden the ant turns left, and we go, the act of observing the ant caused it to move.
Or putting a ruler there.
What you did to measure interfered with the process.
Yeah.
So I actually talked to some research scientists about this, and they said that a lot of New Age type people took this to imply that the human observation impacted it, instead of saying the tools used interfered with the results.
Good point.
Yeah. But far be it from me to be an expert. I don't know if that's the case.
You don't think they took that into account, though?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, maybe they did. Maybe the person I was talking to was just a jerk who was like, I'm smarter than you.
I'm going to try to figure out any way to debunk this.
Right, and just take the fun out of your parade.
Yeah.
But you know what happened after the double slit experiment stuff became like this New Age thing is The Secret. You know what The Secret is?
I've heard of it.
It's like when you make a wish board, or what do they call it, like a dream board or something?
Oh, yeah.
Where you put all the things you want.
The stuff you want down
Yeah,
on
what is
paper.
that called? Wish board? I don't know. Wish board? No idea. Vision board? Yeah, so like you take a big whiteboard and you put
all the things you want in your life.
And then you like visualize it and I want it. And so people believe that by waking up every day and saying, I'm going to do it, I'm going to get it, it magically comes to you.
I actually believe that. I think there's some major power in belief of what you desire. If you put it into the air and you really, you have to believe it though. You can't just, prayer, like people pray forever and then they say, oh, my prayers are answered. It's like, no, you were putting your energy into the air, and
maybe it is God though.
Yeah, I think maybe humans have more power than we know.
So here's the thing. Here's the practical response though. If every day you wake up and say, I'm going to get X, you've decided that day that's what your focus is. And so you are gradually inching yourself towards that goal by focusing on it.
Yeah.
That's a simple answer.
It's true.
But I will tell you a secret, man. I know a lot of successful people who believe exactly what you've said, that they have some kind of influence over reality and like whatever. And it's funny to me that a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people I know who are famous and wealthy often talk about that. They're like, I can make things happen. I just want it and it happens. And they have like this idea that it's magic or whatever. It's an interesting thing to me because it's such a similarity to like general prayer.
It is the same. It's almost the same. Like, what's the difference?
There's a difference. There's a difference.
Well,
one is like
prayer. You're praying to something.
Prayer is more humble.
Okay.
I think this thing is more egotistical.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
I can see that.
But it's more like, I want this. Where the other thing is like, please help me attain this. Please help me do this. Please do this for me.
True. Okay.
Yeah. So I think, prayer is asking for a favor, and whatever this is like kind of trying to assert something.
Manipulate the world around you.
Sort of. It's not always necessarily nefarious. If someone wakes up and they're like, I want to do this, I can do it, I think I can. That's not the same thing necessarily, but there are a lot of people I know who are narcissistic, and they think that it's them, that they control. It's weird though. Man, I've seen people who just like kind of snap their fingers and magic happens. Yeah. It's weird. Yeah, man. I don't know how they do it. I know people who don't work a day in their lives and are rich, and they weren't born rich, and it's like somehow they're like, I'm not going to name anybody, but I know some people where it's like somehow they're on yachts, and I'm like, how are you doing this? How are you living this life? And they explain to me how like, oh, like once I ran out of money, like it just so happened that this thing occurred, and then I ended up getting $300,000, and then I'm like,
thing, and then I bought a yacht. It's like, okay, wow.
No, they didn't buy the yacht.
Oh, sure.
But it's basically I know somebody who makes the equivalent of like $300K a year
Are they really that rich then if they don't have a yacht? I'm just
I
kidding.
guess so. No, but I'm like, how do you not work and come across this money? And it's like, seriously? Like a Rube Goldberg device, and they got the money. And it happens all the time. And I'm like, I just don't get it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, let's do
Good for
this.
them.
Let's take this couple more super chats, and I guess we're going to wrap up. And I will stress for the 80th time, we have no idea what we're doing. This is the first show we're doing, but we're eventually going to get better at it. And I think it's fun either way. The title is Coronavirus. And did this mofo even talk about it for 5 minutes in the 2 hours? Also, does he even read the super chat? The answer, Thomas, is for the most part, I don't read the super chat, and we barely talked about the coronavirus.
we barely talked about it. That's true.
Well, I don't know. Look, like I said, we have no idea what we're doing.
That's true.
I mean, that's not true.
This is the maiden voyage.
We have a general idea of what we're doing. But we talked for 6 minutes. I think it was.
Oh, yeah. So over 5 minutes, Thomas.
Well, so here's the issue, man. The point of the show is like we're going to do a 2-hour show talking about a wide range of topics.
Yeah.
And like I don't know what I titled these videos. I got to be honest. So like to be real with you, when I was setting up the stream, it asked me for a title, and I was like, I don't know, what am I going to call it? Like random stuff with Tim and Adam. And I was like, well,
yeah.
The one story I did
like
want to talk about is how the city's deserted.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about how they're lying about the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
But then we ended up just drifting and talking about whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Enjoyed it.
I don't know, man. But I will tell you this. He says either luck or connection with people, basically by knowing people with resources and have really deep connection with them. I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that, Thomas, but I do appreciate the super chats.
Yeah,
I appreciate that you were critical of us not talking about it, but still contributed. Crossamon. I'm a physicist, and I think your explanation is okay. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap it up. Adam, do you post to social media even? Do you?
I post on Instagram. Yeah. It's just my full name, Adam Krigler. You can find me there. It's pretty easy.
Check out the show. The plan is to take the segments and break them up into just like. So if I think there was a period where we talked for like 20 minutes about like YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll put that up on YouTube by itself. This will probably roll up on YouTube as the full stream. We're going to figure it out, man. But the ultimate goal is to like have like 6 stories we think are really interesting, read through them, dedicate 10 to 20 minutes to each story. And then once we're done with the stream, we break those up into segments. So it's kind of like what I already do on my own, YouTube channel. But it's going to be more conversational.
Yep.
So I will wrap it up there, I suppose. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. The super chats, seriously, thanks for the super chats. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
And we will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow it will be at 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
And the goal is to make it 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. But I had so much work to do today that I was getting really tired, and I was like, I think we should go early. I think we should just launch, just do it.
Yeah.
So I'll wrap it up there.
All right.
Appreciate all the super chats, everybody. We're going to set up a new monitor for Adam to make sure we can get to as many super chats as possible. But I got to be honest with you. This show isn't supposed to be about super chats. So the plan will be we're going to get to as many as we can in between each segment. But this show is intended to actually just be a general podcast. We record it live, but it's going to go up. The intention is to make a 2-hour show to appear on iTunes and Spotify and all that stuff. And so we'll figure it out. Maybe we end up finding out it's better as a live show and not as a podcast, and we go for the super chats more.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't want to encourage people to post super chats hoping that they get their comment read, because we really can't do it. But I will say this. Your super chats are a godsend. Like, when we're getting to a point where we're like, okay, we've gone through our stories, let's see what's up with super chat. It really, really does help keep everything flowing. It is an amazing gift. So I really do appreciate it. Plus the support is phenomenal. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. You can check out my show every day. I start at 10 a.m., youtube.com/TimcastNews. This is a totally different thing. We're going to talk about different subjects, so that might not be your cup of tea. But you can follow me on Instagram, Timcast, and we will see you all. We'll see you all next time. Now I get to try and figure out which one I close first. Do I shut off YouTube?
No idea.